up? It's Monday. That's right. That's right, it's Monday. We're off to a great start this week. I took the weekend off. I decided that that was the best thing for me to take the weekend off. I enjoyed football, and I enjoyed my broken foot that I didn't know I had until this weekend. It was great. You know, you hurt yourself, and then a few days later you realize, oh, that's way worse than I thought it was. So swollen foot, bruised foot, all sorts of stuff. But over the weekend, my suspensions have been lifted, so I'm back on Twitch, back on YouTube, and the regulars, except Kick. Kick, for some reason, I think it's because I speak the truth about the Australians. I don't know. I I don't know. Anyways, sadly, right? So we'll see if we can get that figured out for Kick, even though it doesn't really matter. I don't know. I don't know if it does. It kind of does, but whatever. My Ducks beat the Penn State Nittany Lions on Saturday evening. It was not a close game. My Ducks were destroying Penn State until they decided to, we gotta build the drama, build drama. We can't just destroy. Probably a little kickback there for how close it was. Patty Quinn over on Twitch says, "Hey, what's up? What's up?" Just in the last 24 hours, the rhetoric around this great nation and around the world is just going through the roof. It's picking up, and I've been posting, reposting. We're going to be talking about some things. Oh boy, we're going to be talking about Great Britain. We're probably going to be talking about Canada. And we're probably going to be talking about Australia. That's right. And there might also be some religious undertones here as well. Boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, today we're just going to focus on Portland, Oregon, and Atlanta, Georgia. And we might get into a few other things. Just because, that's the way my brain works. Squirrel. Oh, they played on Thursday and beat the Arizona Cardinals. So, they took care of business early. They kind of had an extended time off, not a bye week, but a shorty bye. So that'll be good. But boy, oh boy, the NFL had some great games yesterday as well. And look, college football, the NFL, great. Now Roger Goodell needs to be replaced. I've thought that for at least a decade, if not more. Right here. Let me run the NFL. Let me run all sports. Let me run the NFL, the NBA, the MLB. Let me run the NHL. Let me just run all of the four major sports. Let me run them. Actually, let me run track and field too. International competition. And mainly the competition here in the United States. But let me do that as well. Look, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to run these leagues, and I'm going to make way better decisions than any of those people combined. Like this is we need to get sports back to where sports need to be, which is just with sports. Screw the politics, screw the virtue signaling, screw all of that crap. It's a disaster. All of it's a disaster right now. Bad Bunny the halftime show. Boy, we'll be talking about that tonight for sure. And we'll be talking about Taylor Swift. And we'll be, there's a lot of things we'll talk about tonight. Today, though, again, focusing on Portland and Atlanta. Now, I just so happen to be a Portland Trailblazers fan because I grew up 75 miles down the road, and my aunt lived like right next door to the old Montgomery Ward's building in Northwest Portland. So growing up, I spent a lot of time in downtown Portland riding my bicycle around as a youngster. Yeah, my little Huffy BMX bike. Amazing. It still is amazing, except we have horrible leadership. Horrible leadership. I don't even know who's the ass and all of this other, like, I don't know. She's just taken over the whole state and made it worse. Downtown Portland currently smells like urine. That's right, urine. It's bad. Partly because there are no more, I haven't seen them. When you drive downtown, you used to actually see and smell the roses of the Rose City. No. Those are gone, and you just smell urine. That's right. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Downtown Portland is a magnificent area. It is beautiful. The architecture, the history, the waterfront on the Willamette River. You have everything and more that you could ever dream of right there in Portland, Oregon. Yeah, it is a wonder of a city, and man, have the Democrats ruined it? Yes, they have. Every single time that they've been in control. Which, oh wait, that's right, they've been in control for the last damn near 40 straight years. 40 straight years? Somewhere in that, between the governorship and the mayor of Portland, it's in percentage. So, it's one of those things where you get the radicals that take over control. It started when I was a kid. Over 40 years ago, it started where you had these knucklehead tree-hugging hippies chain themselves to trees and then convince the Clinton administration to shut down the forests. We don't log like we used to. That destroyed towns. It destroyed small cities. Also got rid of fishing, commercial fishing, almost completely gone during the 90s when Clinton was in charge. Horrible. Well, we got somebody over on Twitch, Undead Kara says, any thoughts on the vet that shot up and burned down a church in Grand Blanc, Michigan yesterday? Don't know much about that story. And if he was a vet that did that, he probably had some mental issues. Little PTSD maybe, I don't know. But yeah, that I could probably look into that and speak more to it tonight on my nightcast. But that definitely was not on my talking agenda, if I even have an agenda. Well, Portland, Oregon, and Atlanta, Georgia. There's some crazy things going on in Atlanta that people don't even realize are about ready to go down. That's gonna, but I'll shift to that. So I've got my, I'll mid cast changeover when I go from Portland to Atlanta. But yeah, Undead Kara says scary times. Scary times. I'm not scared. And that situation there, that doesn't scare me either. Michigan has a problem. And the problem with Michigan is they've been delusional as a state for a while. There's a lot of good people in Michigan, just like there's a lot of great people here in Oregon. In fact, I believe the majority of the United States of America are constitutional conservatives. And you have a situation where, like the Pacific Northwest, where I was born and raised and live, we've had our elections here in Washington, Oregon, and now California rigged. Washington and Oregon have had mail-in ballots, mail-in voting for damn near 40 years now, and we haven't had a conservative representative at the governorship in either state of Washington and Oregon in that time. Not one. This was the proving grounds on how to steal elections via mail-in balloting. I don't even believe Portland, Oregon is not as liberal as they tell you it is. Neither is Seattle, Washington. Neither is San Francisco or down in Portland. Yesterday and today, I guess. And you've got Tina Kotek talking. Undead Kara over in Twitch says, "Oh, you're from here?" I am. I was born in Tacoma, Washington. Grew up on the mouth of the Columbia River, 75 miles from Portland. Spent a lot of time in Portland, Oregon, like a lot. My aunt lived in Northwest Portland, right next to the old Montgomery Wards building, and yeah, I grew up in Portland. So yeah, I growing up riding my bicycle around, the the downtown area, going to Beaver baseball games. They don't have a minor league team in Portland anymore, sadly. Bring back Beaver baseball. I remember going and seeing the Portland Trailblazers do summer league ball there at the stadium downtown. Outside. I remember seeing a couple football stadium as well. Anyways, good old time. Now the Thorns and the Timbers, little MLS action. What people from outside the state think and say. Undead Kara, where do you live? You live in Michigan? Are you a Michigander? I am a fan of Michigan, and I'm a huge fan of Minnesota. Mm-hmm. And that part of the country's great. The Great Lakes. That's part of why it's great. That part of the country is fantastic, except for the politics. And I truly believe 100% the whole country is very constitutional. It's hard to find a liberal that's truly constitutional. It really is. But these extremes, like the far right, and then the left, which, I mean, almost the whole entirety of the left is nuts, like next level nuts. So you have a small percentage of people that sit kind of in that constitutionality and conservative, which true conservatives, they're nowhere near the far right religious nut jobs, and they're not anywhere, well, definitely not liberal. So, and I'm a faith guy. I don't like religion. Religion's horrible. But that's a whole nother conversation. Undead Kara says she's born and raised in Michigan. 34 years. 34. You're a youngin'. That's good. You're spring chicken. You're a youngster. Hello. How you doing? I like youngins. I do. No, Michigan's very odd. Minnesota's very odd with the temperament of the politics there. The politicians are not truly representing the people of those states, just like out here in the Pacific Northwest. You know, the rest of the country thinks that the Pacific Northwest, well, the whole West Coast, is liberal and crazy. And I'm sorry, that's a narrative. Like I said, Seattle's nowhere near as liberal as they paint that picture. Same with Portland and all the other cities that I mentioned. These cities, a lot of conservatives that just keep their mouths shut and keep their heads down and go about their business and let the Looney Tunes do what Looney Tunes do. And you just give them a wide berth. You stay the hell away from the Looney Tunes and you respect their space. And you hope that the Looney Tunes respect your space. The only problem is we're at a time in history right now where everybody wants to impose. And you have the Looney Tunes wanting to impose their side of things where there's people who live in reality and there's people that live in delusion. Well, the people that live in delusion want to impose their delusions on the people who live in reality, where the people in reality have actually made a misstep. The people that live in reality have refused, at least up until now, they have refused to tell the people who live in delusion that they live in delusion. Like they've refused to just, because they're just like, whatever, just leave them alone. We don't want to make them any crazier than they really are. So let them live out their little weird fantasies as long as they're not messing with us. The problem is now they're messing with us. They're messing with you. They're messing with me. They're messing with themselves. When you're delusional, you have to have someone snap you back into reality to have you understand, okay, this is fantasy. This isn't real. I'm not thinking straight. But we have the turn the other cheek attitude to a certain extent, which I'm not a fan of. I do not like the turn the other cheek thing. Anyways, Undead Kara says, the Constitution is being trampled in the counterintelligence global Telegram. There's posts by right-wing groups that talk about ignoring it until they reach their goal. Whether you're right, left, center, or whatever right now, this isn't America and everyone knows it. Yeah, well, I am right, as in what I say, I'm on point with. I'm a constitutionalist. I'm a registered independent, and I wouldn't even be registered as anything, but here in the state of, I can, when I say register, I'll back up a little bit. You should have to register to vote, but you shouldn't have to register as a party. You shouldn't have to be affiliated with a party, but here in Oregon, they force you to be affiliated with a party, and that's part of how they rig things as well. So if you're a lefty, you only get lefty shit, and if you're a righty, you only get righty shit, and if you're an independent, you get nobody's stuff, because there's independent people are almost non-existent. And I chose independent because I've always been independent. I'm a constitutionalist. The Constitution's for all of us, whether you're left, right, or indifferent, it doesn't matter. I'm a constitutionalist, period. I lean a little bit more to one side than the other because I don't want to be associated with nut jobs. And the left is full of them. I've seen it firsthand. So... and if you're a lefty, it's probably because you think more emotionally than logically. And while everyone has emotions should not control your thought process. You could take into account your emotions, but they shouldn't control your thought process, which that's the downfall to almost all liberals. Liberals think emotionally. They don't think logically. It's just facts. Let's see. Undead Kara says, okay, so how, if you've anything about imposing anything, and who's retaliating by imposing? I want to impose one thing, and that's the United States Constitution. That's the only thing that I will impose, which means I'm not imposing anything. The United States Constitution gives you rights, God-given rights, which means I can't take them away. I don't have the authority. As soon as you cross the line, though, the Constitution lines out. As soon as you cross the line and start to infringe on someone else, infringing physically, not mentally. Who gives a fuck about your feelings or your mental instabilities? It's physical infringement. Physical infringement. That's when you cross the line. And as soon as you physically infringe, physically impose on someone else, force, then what works. Sorry. That's why we have the First Amendment, and we have the Second Amendment, and we have the Third and the Fourth. This as originally written. Not all the fluff and crap they put on afterwards. No, originally written. And that's the oath that the president takes. That's the oath that everybody that is a representative. But that's the problem. We have politicians, not representatives. Anyways, Undead Car says, you said the left was imposing on the right at one point, and looking at what's happening, it looks like retaliation. Well, you can define it however you want. That's what that's what people get good at, is the twisting of the words. Now, the left is imposing. The left has imposed by detracting because of the 9/11 incident. But when you have the left doing actual impositions, like forcing, so taxation and social programs, they need to go bye-bye. That's an actual physical imposition by taking money, and then taxation without representation. Now, we have a problem with that on both sides of the fence, but because he's not a politician. He's not at all. He's like you and I, just a normal dude that made money with a business, and he can't be bought. He cannot be bought. He's not paid for, and that's what scares the crap out of both sides. But then you have the narratives out there that are floating all the time just to make him look bad, because people are easily influenced by stupid reports that are put out there in the news. Like headline news will affect how people think, like that, super easily 100% manipulated. And so, like, I would say, I'm going to look, and you are a constitutionalist, you are like him. You're like me, you're like everybody else. But if you're a politician and you fall on one side, extremist on one side or the other, and if you'll have illegal aliens in this great country that shouldn't be here, that are taking from your opportunities, taking from other opportunities of people who were born and raised here, and people who immigrated here legally, the right way. And I want more immigrants to come here the right way. If you come here the right way, I'll welcome you with open arms. But if you come here the wrong way, I'm not going to welcome you the way you think I should. So, that's just how it should be, period. End of story. So it's constitutionality. Anyways, back to Portland. I want to get on to Portland here. Boy, that's a good one. I'm left and here talking to you. I will never use force to get my point across. But if you're left, you have no point. 0 point. You live in a delusion if you're a lefty. Sorry, I'm an independent. I'm a registered independent. Fuck MAGA. I'll say it all day. I've said fuck MAGA because MAGA is the far-right religious bullshit, okay? Just like the environmentalist far-left bullshit. And that because environmentalism is a lefty religion. And then the socialism, the left is socialist, which is soft communism. Look it up. It's the truth. So any lefty, and you said you're left, you're a communist. I bet you use the word community a lot, which is communism, by the way, if you didn't know that. So I'm a constitutionalist. I'm for all people as long as you leave me the fuck alone. Like that's how it is. Don't impose on me. But the left wants to impose their bullshit more so than the right. The right wants to impose right now the Constitution. Now, do they get a little crazy because of their religious stuff? Yeah, and the pendulum can swing way too far to the right, which I always call that shit out. And so, all the Q people are nuts, all the Anon people are nuts, all the fucking MAGA people, most of the MAGA people are nuts. You have all of that, but then you have all the nuts on the left. And the left, 90% of the people who exist on the left are insane. They're mentally ill, they have low IQs, and they just don't understand. And they're willing to twist words and be very deceitful, lie, cheat, and steal. And I mean, holy crap, we've got 40 plus years of evidence here in the Pacific Northwest of theft, lying, deceit, stealing, all of it wrapped up here in the Pacific Northwest. And I'm born and raised Pacific Northwesterner, so I've seen it. when the left has taken away logging, fishing. Left wants to take away everything based on, and that's control, that's imposition. The Constitution doesn't talk about government regulation. The government's not to regulate anything. The government's there to make sure to preserve, protect, and defend the United States Constitution. But see, the lefties always come up with some excuse for why that they should be able to dictate in one way or another. And see, the only reason why lefties are fearful of the righties is the religious context, which I understand. I understand the religious fear. But guess what? It's hypocritical because the lefties have found environment and socialism as their religious bullshit as well. So it's kind of it's laughable. It's laughable. And by the way, and you fell into the trap of trying to demean me by saying, "Oh, hun." I'm 12 years older than you are. So, I'm sorry, little child. I'm 12 years older than you are. But I probably look a lot younger than you. But you know, that's just what it is. This is why I'm the most censored person on the planet. Because I'm right about it all. I'll call out the left, I'll call out the right, because I'm a constitutionalist. I'll call them all out on all their bullshit. That's what makes me dangerous to both sides of the fence. And I'll call out anybody who wants, oh, well, I'm lefty because I'm righty. Because if you're a constitutionalist above all, then we can have a conversation. The moment that you show that you're not a constitutionalist to me is the moment that I go on the... But look, you're distracting me at this point in time. I got... Undead Kara says, if you were right and pointed out anything that mattered, you wouldn't be here. Oh, really? Is that true? Okay. See, that's something that... Aw. Wow. Delusion of the left. The delusion of the left. Let's see here. Where was it? Oh, yeah. Here we are. That's so funny. That's good stuff. Here, I got to show this. Where's my tech person? I need a tech person, damn it. All right. Oh, shoot. I've been a bad boy. I didn't try to do that right, so I don't screw it up. Editing on the fly is always a blast, you know. Just saying. Whoa! Somebody's monkeying with this, and it's not me monkeying with it. All right, here we go. All right, so we have over here in Portland, which is funny, Macadam Avenue. And it's right, they're at the junction of Highway 43, northbound, southbound junction there, Macadam Avenue. So they're nowhere near anything important. They really aren't. But as you can see here, I need to frame that better. There we go. So this is. So this one, Eric Daughtry says, breaking, Antifa just defeated Portland police outside the ICE facility, assaulting one of their officers, causing them to retreat. What the fuck? Arrest them all. Portland has zero control over their streets right now. The National Guard is necessary. Yeah, you know what? We're going to talk about that after I show this. Uh-oh. Here we go.
To the people!
Oh, man.
Trump says get back, we say fight back!
Trump says get back, we say fight back!
I says get back, we say fight back!
I equals terror.
I says get back, we
Whatever.
say fight back!
I says get back, we say fight back!
We say fight back!
We say fight back!
We say
fight back!
Oh, my goodness. Okay. So what you'll notice here is a whole group of people in an area of town that doesn't matter. And it's not that packed as something about Antifa treated because that's their orders. Remember, Portland police isn't state police. It's not federal police. It is a municipality. So they are basically hired mercenaries by the city. They're not Portland city police are not constitutionally bound, which is a huge problem. They're constitutionally bound as citizens, but if they do something unconstitutional that they're ordered to do by the city, as long as they stay in city limits, I'm pretty sure they're protected, sadly. But Donald Trump's changing that, thank God, because this is out of control stuff where this is the manipulation of social media. So there's hardly anybody there. The police, what you have here is a moment where you see maybe several hundred people, maybe 200-300 people are there in that area, if that. I don't even think there's maybe 200, 200-300, probably less, no more than 300 for sure in that area. And they've got loudspeakers, the bullhorns, they've got all of this, that, and the other. And what you're seeing is a demonstration that is probably constitutional, because I don't see any kind of physical violence going on. So that's fine. But the majority of people in Port they're mentally ill, and that's to further my my description here. If we had asylums up and running here in this country, most of the people that you see protesting for the left would be in an asylum naturally, because they're all mentally ill. The majority of the people that protest are mentally ill. If you go through Portland and actually undertake the grid of Portland and drive through downtown, you drive all over the city area, just within the city limits, you're going to understand that there aren't as many lefties, because if there were as many lefties as they report, the whole city would be flooded with people chanting and protesting and petitioning the government. They're not at all. There's nowhere near that amount of people doing it. Because these people are the minority. And when minorities do this is a mob mentality where you can stoke their emotions. Again, lefties are emotionally driven on a whole nother level. They can't have a moment of passion and then bring themselves down. They just can't. They spiral out of control completely, and they never reset back to their foundation. Because they have no foundation. The left has zero foundation. And as someone who is in the constitutional realm of this, I'm an independent. Remember, we declared independence. That's how this great country, over a tyrannical entity, a monarchy that imposed religion. They imposed the religion that they said, no, you have to be this religion, and you have to pay taxation, and you have to do this, all this, that, and the other, and we're going to force you to do it. Well, we declared independence, and we were forced to use violence to keep our independence once we declared it. That's a very, very, very important thing. Now, the left they don't want independence. They're fighting for dependency of government. They're fighting for socialism. They're fighting for communism. Because, again, socialism is soft communism. They believe, oh, my heart, I care, I bleed for all of these people. Oh. Well, if you come here constitutionally to this country, then you don't have a problem with ICE, and ICE doesn't have a problem with you. See, they use ICE instead of Immigration Customs Enforcement. What's wrong with enforcing proper immigration? What's wrong with enforcing proper customs traditions as far as checking your animals, making sure everything's up to date, making sure we check your fruit, your vegetables, making sure we check everything that you bring into this country that originated from outside of this country? What's wrong with that? There's zero wrong with that. What's wrong with coming through as an immigrant the right way? That's why they're called illegal aliens, they're not immigrants. If you're an immigrant, you'll come here the right way because you have respect for where you're wanting to be. You'll have respect for the United States Constitution. You'll learn it inside and out. You'll take the time to do it because it's that important to you and you have that much respect. There is no global warming bullshit or climate change bullshit. There is no flipping massive war going on in the world where we're the only safe zone. The majority of people that end up in this country are not even from Mexico. They're from other countries, and they plop down here illegally. They could have... International law even says when it comes to asylum seekers, right? You go to the closest country that is safe. So for people coming from Africa to come all the way over here, you've just crossed by how many different countries to get here? A lot of safe countries to get here. Well, why are you coming here? Well, you want to come here? That's fine. Do it the right way. Stop in Mexico. Stop in another country that's willing to house you on your way here while you do it the right way. But I actually don't think we need to bring anybody else into this country unless it's a burden on the taxpayer that, by the way, we shouldn't even have to pay taxes. Whatever happened to the people that need to be, independent, individual liberty, independence, individuality, and liberty? What happened to those things? The left doesn't believe in independence. The left doesn't believe in individuality. The left doesn't believe in liberty. Why do I know these things to be true? Because the left wants, why they use the word community over and over. My most hated word on the planet is the word community. It's an evil word. It gets people to actually believe in socialism, communism, and then practice it. Because if you're practicing community in the way that they're portraying it, it is 100% communism. It is communist in action. That is the foundation of that word. Electric Porpoise in the house over in the Rumbleverse. Hello, Electric Porpoise. How you doing? Electric Porpoise is laughing at me at this point, and Electric Porpoise has a new logo. What? Hold on. What is he? Oh my goodness. Did you have a niece or a nephew What? I love it. I love it. That's great. That is fantastic. If you had a niece or a nephew or a youngster in your life that drew that for you, that's great. If that was you, yeah. If that was you, 1A Habit says nothing. Wait, Undead Kara is proving my point. She thinks I'm a right-wing talking head. What an absolute dipshit. My face is a smile and a laugh. What do you mean? I'm not. There's a face for you. You want to clip that? But look, lefties from Michigan, seriously. Any lefty on this planet is completely nuts. Look at what's happened to Great Britain. They can't even fly their own flag. But we'll talk about that tonight. 1A Habit over on X. I just saw her nothing post, and Electric Porpoise is now over in Twitch too. Boy, you know what? It's funny. This is how nutty the left is. When the left calls someone who is a registered independent and a constitutionalist, someone who's willing to say fuck MAGA, fuck the Qers, and fuck the Anoners, I'm a right-wing talking head because interesting. This is what I'm talking about with the delusion of the left. The delusion of the left is you cannot make any sense to them because they don't make sense to themselves. They just parrot what they see on social media and parrot what they see on the mainstream media. Because, by the way, mainstream media and social media are now working together as that one big mainstream of media. They're shoving this stuff down your face. in one way or another. And all of these people will lock in step like they're trying to, chanting the exact same thing. There's no civil discourse. There's no thought process. There's no thoughts and ideas that are original and outside of the box. It's all one thing. So when you talk about individuality, they have zero individuality. Just because they look different from one another doesn't mean they're an individual. Because talk to them. Talk to them. Because right here between the ears, they're all the same. All the lefties are the same. That's the scary thing about the left, even more so than anything else. They parrot each other constantly. And if they don't hear you parrot what they say, they're, again, communism, they kick you out. They would probably execute you if they could get away with it. If somebody proposed to the left, we're going to execute anybody who doesn't subscribe to what we say. If they don't say what we're saying, we're going to execute them. If they could get away with it, the left would do it. 100%. 100%. Absolutely. And the shenanigans that they play, holy smokes. All right, hold on. I gotta now that I got this fixed, I gotta morph over here. I gotta pull up. You guys are going to love this. So the great governor of Oregon, Tina Kotek, the original tampon governor, Tampon Tina Kotek, because, Kotek, Kotek. Oregon had the original bookmarks here. Oh, look at this. This is great. Hold on, let's see. Okay, I got two of them right here. I get to, right here. And Governor Pritzker, J.B. Pritzker, Illinois stands with Oregon. I don't want Illinois standing with us at all. Fuck you, Governor Pritzker. He says, we cannot let Donald Trump use military troops as political props in American communities. Actually, we can use the National Guard to straighten up cities who are operating unconstitutionally. Which, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? That's right. That's right. You got a city that's doing guard, but she won't because she's not a constitutional governor. She's an unconstitutional governor. She doesn't live by the Constitution. She wants communism. That's what. And J.B. Pritzker, you want communism too because you say, these American communities. No. We have American neighborhoods. Neighborhoods. That's what we have. Neighbors. We are neighborly. And we do not try to impose. But see, communities have the HOA. And communities have community what? Guidelines. Guidelines. Well, excuse me. I'm sorry. A neighborhood doesn't have a guideline. Why? Because a neighborhood doesn't try to impose. Neighbors don't try to impose on their neighbors. But communities will impose their will on their members. See, do you want to be a neighbor or do you want to be a member? Huh? You want to be a neighbor or you want to be a member? See, again, independence, individuality, and with your liberties. That's how we're supposed to do things here. So, Governor Tina Kotek, contrary to President Trump's social media posts, Portland is not war-ravaged. There is no insurrection. There is no threat to national security. Actually, you're right, Tina Kotek. It is not war-torn. It smells like urine because you can't keep it clean. It also has a lot of protesting and a lot of vandalism that happens, just like in Chicago and San Francisco and Baltimore and New York. It's got a lot of vandalism that goes on, and it has a lot of protest bomb things in Portland, and it's not like a huge amount of people in Portland. It's just a select few of the mob. That's what it is. So it's going to be really easy for President Trump to come in and clean it up. And I, as an Oregonian, want President Trump to come and clean it up. I know of many, 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 many other Oregonians that want the same thing. Tina Kotek is a bad governor. And there she is walking with her wife that she hired to be some other, basically the next governor and is as a secondary governor. But here you go. Let's listen to Tina Kotek.
Hello, Oregon. Governor Kotek here. Contrary to President Trump's latest social media post, Portland is not war-ravaged. There's no insurrection, there's no threat to national security, and there's no need for military troops. Military service members should be dedicated to real emergencies. And that would take to the streets myself right here in downtown Portland. I'm standing just blocks away from the waterfront, overlooking the beautiful Willamette River. Portland City Hall, the federal courthouse, and dozens of shops and restaurants here in the central city. We do have challenges here in Portland, in Oregon, and across the country. The cost of living is too high, we need to build more housing that people can afford, and we need to always work on having the best schools possible. So let's keep the focus on the real problems, not the made-up ones.
Yeah, and
Hello,
and she just right there. She shifted to cost of living, but yet she wants to raise taxes for Oregonians. You want to know why she wants to raise taxes? She wants to give us a sales tax here for all the money to go to Portland to fix Portland. That's not a joke. So while she talks out of one side of her mouth, she's really saying other stuff out the other side. She's very hypocritical here. 1A Habit over here in the X world says, "Oh my God, and Constitution, all I need." Yeah. My God and Constitution, all I need. Oh my God and Constitution, all I need. Yep. There you go. 1A Habit says it right there. Keeps us all in line, right? Because you can have your faith, freedom of faith, but and whatnot, but you can't impose your faith. Oh wait, that's happening now too, huh? We got a lot of impositions going on right now. Like Tina Kotek, what a evil fucking bitch she is. 100% evil. You know, and again, like she's been busted for doing some improprieties, I guess you could say, already. Her and her wife. What a disaster of people. Yeah, look, one of those things that I don't have patience for ignorance. I don't have patience for stupidity. I don't have patience for hypocrisy. Build cheaper housing for people. Blah blah. Well, you know how they want to build cheaper housing? It's not going to be cheaper. It's going to be more expensive. It'll be more expensive building it while using taxpayer dollars to then give it to people that can't afford it. They'll just give it to the people that can't afford it. That's what she's talking about. That's the underlying truth right there. That's the foundation of what she's doing. Holy smokes, I get my allergy. What the hell? I swear. Damn nose itching. The heck, out of nowhere. Maybe I'm allergic to liberals. But like, I know she's in my same state, and I'm like, she's one of the worst of them all. One of the worst of them all. Look, if I could run for governor of Oregon as an independent, which is bullshit, because both teams are out of line on certain things. Again, I side more with the conservative side because they're not dumb. They're not dumb. They're not stupid. You know. But the left, 100% stupid because they don't get it. They've never had anybody say, hey, stop being emotional. Listen, this is what this is. Impose your dumb, weird shit on the rest of us. Which, oh, wait, here in the Pacific Northwest, they've been trying to do that for quite some time. All right. So that was Tina Kotek there. And then this is interesting. Here's Tina Kotek and her wife right behind the Alphabet Soup Club sign, doing a march here in downtown Portland, and it's not really one of the main thoroughfares of Portland, and you can tell that there's not that many people there. What President Trump was saying. President Trump said, war ravaged. Portland has not recovered from all the protests that businesses downtown had to board up their windows for. Board up their windows. We had fire bombings down there, all of this. People forget what happened during COVID. President Trump's coming back to these cities to clean everything up so maybe businesses can reopen downtown. If you don't know what Portland, Oregon is, and all the businesses have fled because of the bullshit that Tina Kotek and company have allowed. And during the time, it was Mayor Wheeler. I don't know who the mayor is now, but Mayor Wheeler, super lefty, who doesn't even really live in Portland. He lives up on the Sylvan area of Portland. So there's a little hill. So he's up towards where the Oregon Zoo is. Yeah, it used to be called the Washington Park Zoo. Now it's the Oregon Zoo. But there's like a legit rose garden, and there's a train a small train that takes you around the zoo. It's one of the best zoos in the country. The Oregon Zoo there in Portland. Anyway, so you have, again, liberal rich elitists living up on a hill overlooking all of Portland that then help to destroy Portland because of their weird socialist ideology that they don't even necessarily believe in. They just say it so that you'll elect them for that seat. Electric Porpoise over on X says, let's try here. Electric Porpoise said, the connection is still shit. What the fuck? He said that over in Rumble, so now he's over on X saying, let's try here. Yeah, I'm censored 100%, but it's because of the lefties that can't handle the truth. It's because of the people out there in the Rumbleverse who like, I don't know. They don't want the truth. They don't want the truth. They're lefties posing as conservatives on Rumble. Yeah. I'm talking about the leadership of not the people using Rumble. Hi, people that use Rumble. You guys are awesome. But Rumble as a company, it's not an America First company. It's out of Toronto, Canada, just so you know. And the majority of people that work for Rumble on the security back end of things, unless it's changed in the last year or two since 1A Habit and I did some digging. She did more of the digging than I did. But most of the actual stuff is happening in massive signaling crap. That's to get the people to believe that they're like, oh, look, we're in Florida, we're awesome, America first. Yeah, no, pound sand. You're just doing that for optics. That's the only reason why you're doing it. No. EP Electric Porpoise says it is good here. So if you're struggling over on Rumble with the connection, it is good over on X. It's probably good over on Twitch as well, and probably pretty decent over on YouTube, since I haven't gone too crazy. Again, I'll call them out all day, every day. They're not a freedom of speech platform. They don't believe in it, because if they believed in it, they'd have me front and center constantly, because I'm the only one that actually truly isn't bought and paid for over there on Rumble. Most everybody else on Rumble that is of any kind of consequence is bought and paid for. Every single fucking one of them. So, that's a fact. They don't like that. They don't like hearing the facts. So come on over to X, and we'll enjoy you over here on X. In fact, maybe I'll open up a space we can talk that's interested in that.
A few hundred people in the streets of Portland as they chant, "Show me what democracy, this is what democracy looks like," and they're chanting, "Troops in Oregon, we say no, ho ho, he he," something like that. But there is the governor of Oregon.
Look at that. There she is. There's Tina Kotek. Oh, wait, I thought her wife was next to her. Apparently, maybe her wife's so short she can't be seen there. But if you saw, I want you to understand, this is all for optics. There it is. Right there. Look at that. No one's there. No one's on the side of the street paying attention. It's just them walking down this. Oh, by the way, did you know that Portland got rid of one traffic lane throughout the whole city, pretty much, to put in bike lane? And look how wide this bike lane is. Yeah, the traffic got worse in Portland because the idiot Mayor Wheeler and the governors worked together. The mayor and governor worked together to get rid of a whole lane of traffic throughout damn near all of Portland. So, Electric Porpoise says, Twitch is fucked. Really? Twitch is fucked, huh? And Twitchers don't like me either. Oh, Kara must be one of the Tardations that work for Twitch, and that's why she's probably came in here to see if I was someone of could be lefty persuasion, so they could promote me. Because that's what happens. These platforms want to find new voices, intelligent voices, well-spoken people to push out there as long as they're saying the stuff that they want them to say. So if you're a lefty, they'll push you out there. If you're a righty, if you're a constitutionalist like I am, you don't get pushed out there because they don't want. See, the one thing that people don't understand is definitely the left. The left has never been constitutional at all. And now the right is struggling with constitutionality. 100%. Listen to what Pam Bondi said. What a disaster Pam Bondi is when it comes to, she said it herself. We covered it here. Free speech and hate speech is not the same speech. Bullshit. Hate speech is part of free speech, and I love hate speech. Love it. Absolutely. Because that means you are passionate against something that is infringing on something you love. Remember, yin and yang. You can't love without hate. You can't hate without love. That is a fact. So if you get rid of hate, it means they're trying to force you to love something that they want you to love. Think about that. They're okay with their hate speech towards something they hate. They're not okay with your hate speech towards their shit. You see how that works? 1A Habit says, hey, Electric, shh. Hook a J, just no need to say it out loud that all. Like, what? What the? She. Oh, shit. She just, like, what the fuck? I just said it out loud. There you go. Oops, my bad. Flipping hilarious. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. All right. But yeah, look, there's nobody here. This is all for optics. This is all just for the camera. No one in Portland gives a shit about this. This is why I can tell you the tide is turning against the left across this whole nation. This is why you have the Michigander, the 34-year-old little childlike, mentally ill, probably person. I'm just guessing because anybody that's a lefty at this point has some sort of mental deficit. I'm not even joking. They have a mental deficit of some sort because how do you not understand logic? How do you not understand logic? So, we have a situation like in Michigan. They want to say that it was a righty, a conservative, a Republican, a MAGA that shot up the church and burnt it to the ground. No one in their right mind believes that. Not one. In fact, all of the gun violence that's been happening, it just goes right into the narrative of the left. Righties are not doing that. They're not going after people they don't know in a church worshiping the Lord. Righties don't do that. Nice try. Seriously, righties don't do that. Lefties will say that they're righty. Lefties will do certain things to then say, look, righties are bad too. They'll actually self-sacrifice to try to make a whole nother side of the fence look bad because they're mentally ill. This is what they do. It's like they come up with these schemes of like, oh, if we do this, we're gonna, oh yeah, and then we'll get the emotional strings attached, and then we'll get them this way. And it's like, oh, you guys are so cute. You guys are funny. Electric Porpoise says YouTube has no issues. Hi, YouTube. YouTube has no issues because there's nobody over on YouTube watching. Probably, I don't know. I don't see any numbers. I don't know. I'm actually not looking at the numbers today for whatever reason. So there we go with that. So yeah, Portland. I'm glad President Trump's doing this. It needs to be cleaned up. There needs to be decorum. The left has zero decorum in Portland. There's zero respect in Portland. Portland used to be beautiful, a vibrant, beautiful, clean city. The sidewalks were clean. It smelled of roses all the time because of all the roses. All of these wonderful things. And again, they've gotten rid of all the roses. It smells like urine on the streets because they're letting the homeless just defecate everywhere downtown. They firebombed the majority of downtown. They have just been extremely disrespectful, and they say that this is because this is, it's peaceful. This is part of the peaceful protest. No. You can just use your voice. Your voice has no harm on anybody. I mean, I guess if you screech loud enough, you might break some glass, but that's about it, right? Like, you might make someone go deaf if you yell. Hold on here. Let me switch this back around. Let me get the. Uh-oh. I thought I hit it. There we go. Let me pull up an X space. Is there anybody that would like to join in an X space and talk to me about it? Actually use their big girl words or big boy words. Let's see. Almost got it. Create your space. All right. How about that? There's a space created. Hopefully it works. There we go. It's working right now. The space is working. So if anybody wants to. Just saying. Just saying. Let's see here. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Oh, no, that's not. Come on now. How come it doesn't want to let me do that? Okay, I guess I can do that, though. Dang it. Dang it, Bobby. What are you doing? Dang it. All right, here. Well, for crying out loud, it doesn't want to let me just do it that way, huh? All right. Well, we're good. We're good. I think we're good. All right. I don't have to do anything except I gotta switch hats. We're gonna talk about Atlanta, Georgia now. Hold on here. Electric Porpoise says, oh boy, he knows I hate that fucking bullshit. And yet my whole screen over here is plastered and retarded. He knows. He says, "Give me a minute." Oh, look! I got some hair. Look at that. Look at that. It's going away, by the way. I'm getting rid of the hair, and I know it's like I had hair all summer for whatever dumb reason, and now it's getting to be winter, and now I'm going to be getting rid of the hair for the winter. I don't go figure. Patty Quinn says, "Oh my." Look, okay, so I had to put the Atlanta Braves hat on because I am a Braves fan. I grew up watching the Braves because that's who I got to see day in, day out on Turner Broadcasting. That's right. I had TBS as a youngster. It was one of the handful of channels I grew up watching. Well, that's a handful of channels that I had access to, actually. And so instead of getting Seattle Mariners games, I got Atlanta Braves games. And at that time, the Mariners were better than the Braves, and I was fine with being a fan of the worst team in baseball because they had a pennant streak. It was awesome. And then I stopped watching the Braves because I just kind of I gave up on sports. I didn't give up on sports. I just detached myself from life for a while. Like I I have a tendency to do that, by the way. Just kind of, because I am able to detach. Oh, I will approve him. See if that works, though. I don't know if that's going to work. Is it going to work?
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. It's afternoon, isn't it? Or did you just wake
Well,
up?
it's my morning.
Oh, okay.
My days and nights have flipped again.
Well, good morning to you, sir.
Yes.
You're on more.
good
You're
morning.
more my schedule then now. The late night schedule. Gotcha.
Yep.
That's cool.
I'm now overnight Kenneth streams again.
Overnight Kenneth Stream. I like the new logo you've got there. That's pretty cool.
It was just a stupid little thing. I just went and just drew.
That
for
was
like
you.
2 seconds. Yeah.
You did that.
Yes. By hand, using a mouse.
You did
On
that with a
paint.
mouse? No wonder
Yes.
it looks like a 3-year-old drew it.
Yes. I made sure I used the mouse so it would look like a 3-year-old drew it.
Okay, so since everybody isn't listening now, or very few people are listening right now, don't ever tell that story again. Tell people your niece drew it for you.
Oh yeah.
It will come across way better. My niece drew this because she loves her uncle.
I can draw better than that. I'm just doing this as
Yeah.
a stupid funny thing.
Right. But see, it'll play better. That's what I'm marketing at this point. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, your audience will like it better. If you a faux niece that doesn't exist drew it for you, your 3-year-old niece, she loves her uncle so much. See, so you're fabricating a story. Look. That's what most of these people do. You know that.
Yeah.
All right, so I've put the Atlanta Braves hat on,
Oh no.
and we're going to talk about Atlanta real quick. And then after I bring up what I'm about ready to talk about with Atlanta, then we can, if you'd like to chime in on Portland, Undead Kara BS over in the Twitchverse there. If you caught that. So
yeah, I did not catch that BS. But I kind of was wanting to talk about like that government shutdown bullshit
oh yeah, we could talk about
a
that.
little bit, but
Yeah.
but that'd just be a little bit later.
Yeah. Well, and remember, I got a night cast too, so we can. There's going to be things that we talk about in the night cast as well. So we either get it today or we can get it tonight. It doesn't matter either way. But
Yeah.
so Atlanta has refused, at least right now, from what I'm understanding, the international airport there has refused to follow federal guidelines for the DEI stuff. They're going to maintain their DEI hires, which
Oh my lord.
funding goes away, and it will effectively shut down the airport. Now, if anybody knows what that airport means to the region, it is an international hub.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to affect
Businesses everywhere.
a lot. So what they'll end up doing potentially is just, I mean, because it's not the only one in the area, and quite frankly, you got Miami, you got Dallas, so the South is pretty covered on both sides of Georgia there with other international type airports that can handle massive traffic. They're just going to end up having to divert, and so you'll see a uptick in these other once the funding's been pulled. Do they then acquiesce? Or are they trying, what I mean? Like, are they trying to bluff Donald Trump? Like, we're not going to do it and see if he just gives them the funding anyways? Because you and I already know Trump's going to be like, I ain't giving you the funding. Just go ahead.
Have fun. Have fun.
Yeah, we don't need your airport.
Be like, have fun. Have fun with your little bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that is very troublesome because they've got just the employees for the airport itself is a little over 2,000 employees. That's just the airport. We're not talking about all the food, all the other stuff that revolves around the airport, all the shops, all the, like, because there's, I'm guessing, probably 5,000 people that work specifically in and around the airport. And think about it, this is all about DEI. So originally I was thinking, all right, so how many DEI hires do you really have at any given place? Maybe, what, 5% of your employees might be DEI hires? Maybe
Yeah.
10% at the
Yeah.
most? Yeah.
They just get rid of them, please, and hire actual people that have the skills to do such
Mhm.
work. But how hard could being an employee at an airport really be?
Right. Well, here I was educated though on this. So I'm right about that for the most part around the nation. It's about 5 to 10% clip you have these DEI hires. So most companies be like, all right, we'll get rid of those people and we'll acquiesce to the request to get rid of DEI and actually get people in, like you say, that actually can do the job the right way and know what they're doing. I was informed, I was educated. This is going to scare the shit out of anybody that's been flying in and out of Atlanta Airport recently. The clip
go
at
nowhere.
Atlanta Airport, because I was like, oh, well, fuck. Are they seriously going to do this just to save like 100 jobs? 100 people? Like to not offend 100 people? Or seriously? No. It's quite the opposite. We're looking at probably 75% of
Jesus.
the hired people there at that airport are DEI hires. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's that. Okay, I can see why they would not want to acquiesce to Trump's bullshit.
Yeah, 75% out of about 2,000 or so people that are actual, strictly airport employees. That's 1,500 people that work there, potentially, are all DEI hires. So they weren't hired because they're good at the job. They're hired because they're dark-skinned or from another part of the world.
Damn.
Like, wait, what? Come again? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God it's been a while since I've flown into Atlanta, but I want to go back. I just don't think I'm going to fly into Atlanta. I think I'm going to drive.
That you could probably go to
Mm-hmm.
since you are a United States citizen.
Yeah, right. Correct. But regional airports get more expensive.
Yeah.
Like, I got a regional airport 30 miles away from me. Not quite 30. It's actually only about 20, 22 miles away from me. But anyways, doesn't matter. It's a great little airport. I've flown in and out of that place in the past. It's not bad. It's actually really nice. It's set up to be a bigger airport. And hopefully it does. But it's one of these regional ones where you don't get to just board from inside, You have to go out, walk outside, walk up the steps. Old school boarding of a plane. So it's a pretty neat experience if you've never done it. It's fine with me. But it's more expensive to fly out of there than it is for me to drive to Portland and go to Portland Airport, PDX. So, yeah. And that PDX, but that's because it's a main airport. Flight prices go down a lot. So, regional flight stuff is not necessarily the best. Unless you're doing private plane stuff, and then it doesn't matter. Anybody want to, donate a private plane to me? I mean, I could handle that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Donate private plane $20 million.
Yeah, to the
That's
Speak.
all we need.
Yeah, to the Speak Freely Foundation. Yeah, we'll just turn this into a whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. It's a nonprofit, guys.
Yeah,
because all that nonprofit goes towards the jet, the
Yeah.
Electric Purpose Productions Fund.
Yeah, so his 3-year-old niece can go to art school.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah, the niece that I totally have and is not fabricated for internet clout.
Oh, 1A Habit in the house. Oh my goodness, I just noticed that. Hopefully she hasn't been. Oh, and she's requested.
Holy shit!
Uh-oh. I feel.
Uh-oh.
I feel.
We're gonna get an earful now.
Maybe. We'll see. Hello.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you tonight?
Doing wonderful. How about yourself?
I am present. Yeah, I'm good.
You're present.
I'm present.
Oh no, I can't hear. No.
What?
Oh,
He can't hear me?
No, he can't. Apparently, he's gonna have to go out and come back in, or something. I can hear both of you just fine. Yeah, he'll have to pop out, and pop back in. That's weird. Damn you, X! What the hell?
Right? There's always fucking something with this place.
Right? It's social media. It's the internet. It's the internet gods. There is no social media platform anymore. They're all working together, one way or another.
I wanna step back for a half a second. It's kind of on topic, but it's kind of off topic because Electric Porpoise pointed out a beautiful flaw in our understanding of the system. I just want people to really understand that a nonprofit, all that means is at the end of the year, they have spent everything that they brought in.
Mhm.
That does not mean that they are using it for a good entity or a charity, or that they're not using it to support their owners they brought in. They have three
Can I help you line it out a little bit better? Easy.
anymore.
So you have you as an employee or a business owner, right? But then you have the nonprofit that is the business. Now, the nonprofit can't make any money, but you as an employee can take all of it. You can pocket every single last cent as long as on paper it doesn't show that lose money as a nonprofit, so you could then qualify for grants.
Thank God.
And tax breaks and everything else.
Small little slap of caveat on that loophole of being able to make a negative.
Mm-hmm.
You're only like in a personal business, it's 5 consecutive years. In a nonprofit, it is within, I think it's 7 years, they cannot go below with 5 below profit years, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They can't be net negative 5 out of 7 years. They have to keep it, or they have to close said nonprofit, which creates the loophole of the grant process.
Right.
So you notice how most nonprofits have a lifespan of 10 years with the massive bonus payout at year 9 and 7. But I know nothing. Continue on, boys.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to interrupt your conversation.
No, that was.
No, you're good. You're good.
That was. Well,
that was perfect, almost.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, the ins and outs of this stuff is all basically how you finagle the numbers on paper, and like her point, spot on. The majority of these entities are so nefarious. With times, I mean, they should be investigated immediately. Every single one investigated for fraud. So, you know, it's like low-hanging fruit, right? Because you could just go back.
Do you want a list?
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. It's like it's easy to go find a list for this and just be like, all right, this one. They all got out at the. Interesting. It's like how all of those rock artists died at 20.
The sad thing is that like 31 is actually 31 31 and 32 is actually the highest celebrity death rate.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well.
Yeah. Do we know who just hit that celebrity death rate?
Who hit it this time?
Well, or did he really hit it? That's the question.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I
Are
was
we
like, oh, it
really
took me a
going
second.
there? Wow. Okay. All right. All right. It's played out. Yeah, it's plausible, more than plausible. So, and anytime 1A and I find plausibility, we just kind of take it and we put it right over here for later, and we just kind of like, okay, you sit right here. We're good. We
It's
know
on
you're
the back
right there.
burner.
Oh no, not back burner.
There's nothing wrong
It's
with
right
with
there.
a deadly statement question. No, yeah,
There-
I billboard this shit.
There are some things that like 1A and I have talked about behind the scenes. Sorry, everybody, that I told her about like immediately right after certain things happen. I'm like, boom, this, and then I've just begrudgingly bit my tongue because I'm on this. I kind of am on the side of the direction that these things are going. So you kind of have to just not back burner. Just it's right there. It's glaring. Say little nuggets, like right here. She just alluded to something, so it's there. We're not like hiding it or anything, but we're not doing the hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 10 hour conversation on cast, really hammering it to death. So
And that's another way you can get little nuggets out there, and I love it.
yeah,
You can. It's a good way to get it there. You're like, oh, here's this thing, but then it's not talking about it for the half hour.
right. Yeah, well, look, you have certain things that play into this as well, and I'll oh boy, thanks 1A for bringing this up. So you have nut jobs out there that might not be nut jobs, but you have like Candace Owens, who feels, believes, thinks certain things about certain incidents.
Bridget Macron.
Well, like the incident we're talking about right now. So you listen to her, and you take all that in, and then you listen to some of these other people out there that have gone completely wackadoodle, and it's like, is Candace Owens really nuts? Or is she paid to put this out here like this? Or does she really, truly believe it? And she's not stupid. So is there something there? Which, oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Because if
Roller
there's something
coaster.
there, then this goes to a whole nother level. Which right now.
It did. Hold on a second.
No scarring or no little patches afterwards, but yeah.
All I have to say right now, and I will put a pin in this, during the election, I am now going to start playing the exact same way the Democrats play. He said that.
I remember hearing it.
So, take that into account, everybody, and just sit on that one for a little while. Because we are in that psychological warfare right now. You look at like what I'm sharing with Portland. You've got Tina Kotek coming out saying, hey, President Trump, we are not war ravaged. We don't need your help. We this, that, and the other. And she comes out with this video, and then she goes and she marches. Now, tell me that's a real flippin' march.
No. Sorry.
Just tell me, try to make me believe that's not just 100% set up. And then you look at the other video I shared, in a whole nother part of town, but there's actually probably more people in that video and more people protesting there than in this one with her. I But that just goes to show how much she needs to be protected. She's not liked in Portland. She is not liked in the state of Oregon. There is no way that she legitimately won the gubernatorial race. There's no way. So, zero
There
chance.
is no way.
Well, and that's a wordplay, like winning. So when Joe Biden was awarded the win of the presidency, every lefty said, "Oh no, he won. See, he won." They didn't care how he won. He just won. Oh, what? I heard some music playing. You sharing some music?
No, I'm not sharing any music. What the hell? It should be muted here.
Oh, sounded good. Whatever it was a little guitar. Now you're breaking up a little bit. Anyway, so you have this.
I got the.
Oh, go ahead.
I had the mandolin on me.
Yeah, that sounded good. I like. Having issues.
Hello.
Now I can hear you clear.
Hello.
I
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I can hear
Okay.
you now. All right. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So.
Can you hear me now?
No, I can't hear you at all. Not one bit. But yeah, we've got this issue of optics where if you can get it out on social media and then let people take it and run with it and then spin it however they need to spin it to make their point. Yeah, I mean, that it seems to be working. It has been working for some time. But now it's a whole nother level of manipulation, I guess, for lack of a better word. So, yeah, where we go from here, I don't know, actually. So, here, let me see here. I'm gonna try to fix this and share you guys out a little bit so people can see your logos while you're talking.
Oh God.
Let's see here. Oh, 1A left. What?
No.
She doesn't want to be shared out, I guess. I don't know why she wouldn't want to be shared out. She does some good posts. So, oh no,
Yeah,
she's back.
she does good stuff. Oh, she's back. Yes, no, maybe.
No, she's back. She's good.
It probably takes a minute for me to see it because, and all the there is some sort of delay that they have in their audio processing.
This darn, because it kicks out on me from time to time. It's just part of the censorship, damn it. One of these days,
it may be part of the. It may be part of the censorship, and it may not be. It may just be it's an inept product that they're trying to push onto the populace.
Fair.
I do blame the product.
I'll give you your point for all the other platforms, just not X. I won't give it to you for X. Every other platform, fine, we can maybe make that excuse for, not X. Excusable for him to put, he has so many people that use X and the spaces, and I've listened in on so many spaces and never heard them have the problems that I have when I do a space.
Yeah.
So, I have. I've had those problems on spaces.
Oh, there she is.
Elon has actually been part of on a constant.
Well, I wonder then.
And I think it's the previous, and I'm always talking about so this big, let's all go back to YouTube because YouTube's going to be nice. No, the code's already to be completely scrapped. I was thinking about this the other day. Their framework needs to be completely demolished. There needs to be a complete new wash. And building data plants to save data and everything is a problem. So not just on the level of security, but on the
scrub because you're talking about destroying the whole thing and building from scratch. I don't think they need to do that. because of how they layer these algorithms and whatnot that we want gone. They just need to go back to that original work that they had, and then go back, and from that foundation that they started with, which didn't have any of the crap that you and I complain about, you go from there, and then you start censorship. It make
Yeah.
the process a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what would make it a little bit better for them to do that speak is to have a time whenever they just shut down the website in its entirety and go through all the code and say, this is what we're taking out, this is what we're going to be rebuilding off of, and everybody's just going to have to be off the website for a while. But then that would create such a schism for a lot of people that use it for their business.
Okay, so if you have a legitimate business, it's not going to cause a problem because
Yeah.
you have a website. So the people that use your services are going to be able to contact you through your website or your business email or whatever else you got going on. Yeah, I agree though. They should flat out just shut X down, shut YouTube down, shut the platforms down that we want to keep and get clean and no more BS. Rumble wouldn't do it either because they've got a mission statement as well. So X would be the only platform, and I don't think Elon would have a problem with that. The only thing it
Yeah.
would come down to is I think he would want to sit down with a team, or maybe he'd just do it himself. But he'd have to outline how long this is actually going to take to rebuild it properly, so it doesn't have all the little snafus that 1A's saying that she's still experiencing. Because I don't experience it except for when I'm doing my space. Everybody else's spaces, and I've listened to a lot of Elon spaces. I've never experienced it, so it makes me wonder. It makes me have questions even on that end. But I wouldn't. I don't know what. Maybe 2 weeks faster.
At least go through all the code and say, okay, this is the stuff that's hindering our company, and then do
Right. Hmm.
and then they can do hot patches whenever everybody's back on the site. So but that would cost them probably a fair bit of revenue, but I think it could be doable if they get it done within about a month.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, they definitely need to do it. That's for sure. Hold on a second. I gotta. Have an issue on my end to try to see if I can. Oh, there we go. 1A has not invited or requested. That's what I was trying to do. Find the request. All right. Well, whatever. She'll figure it out. Yeah. So if it's only two, well, okay. So if they figure out, is it cost effective? Now, I think it would be cost effective to do it because he'd have a better product, and he could maybe line things up more functional for marketing purpose. Because I think one of the things that he needs to do is make sure that on your desktop app has the ability to scroll through spaces, because currently you cannot scroll through spaces on your desktop. You have to do it through your mobile device, whether it's your tablet or your phone.
Well, there is like if you're on the desktop version of X, there is a live on X section that's off to the side, and you hit the show more, and that's all they really got. As long as you're following those people, you will be suggested those live streams and spaces.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about. So that isn't good enough. I
Yeah.
don't want to have to follow anybody to see what's out there. I want to see. I want to be able to scroll the entirety of what is out there for live space. I would also want the entirety along with it, because you could integrate live space and live video. Integrate both of them within maybe separate little lists that you could click on, but the same thing. Be able to click on one or the other so you can find these people. And they don't have that right now.
Oh. Okay.
So
What I just did was in the search bar
Mhm.
for X, I typed in X spaces and clicked onto the latest tab, and it shows you everybody
on the desktop.
on the desktop version.
What?
You get all languages from Japanese to Arabic to
So I
Spanish,
just put X spaces
Portuguese.
in, and you're talking about the X at X spaces?
Not
Or-
at X spaces, just the word X, or the letter X, and then the word spaces, and then go to the, after you press search, go to the latest section.
Right. Well, so I just did that in my search, and oh, I see what you're talking about. Okay, so it does have that. Okay. Well, why doesn't it? Okay,
But
so
it's-
this is okay. This I had no idea that this was a possibility. So because on your mobile device, you go to you just go to Spaces. It has a whole little section. You just click on Spaces. As anybody out there with the mobile device, you know. So
Here, let me look at this.
and then it just
Where's
has
my
that,
mobile
but
dial?
it actually has a limitation of how many spaces there. This is actually way fucking better. So okay, I've said this multiple times. You're the only person to be like, oh, you find it this way. So you're one out
Yeah.
of I don't know how many people I've talked to, because other people have tried looking for this stuff too. So
Yeah.
you
And
know.
I think you can also separate it out, and let me look at the people's tab,
Mhm.
because there could be people's tab. Not okay. The people's tab doesn't do shit, and then you got media tab
Yeah.
in the search bar, and it does nothing either.
Yeah, so if you go over to the more, it says create your spaces. So that's how I create my space. Now, why can't we just
Yeah.
have that over here with your home explorer notification? Why don't we just have like what we have on the mobile, that spaces, to just click on spaces and it goes right to this whole thing without having to do what you just shared with me, which I appreciate that, by the way.
Yeah.
uh,
I tried looking to see where the, like, the most niche item is on the website, and I try to find it. A 2-second, like, oh, maybe let's try this X spaces,
mhm.
and then boom, it worked.
So
Now
I just
you got
hit
Japanese, Chinese.
Yeah. So I hit lives, but it doesn't pop up anybody's lives. So live.
X live.
I just did live.
You just type in X live and it does the same bullshit.
So yeah. All right. So, huh.
Or wait, or probably X live spaces. Let me see.
No, because we're in spaces. I'm talking about for the video, obviously. So what's that?
Let me see.
Live on X. Here we go. That's what it would be. Live on X. Latest.
Yep,
Yeah,
there
there it is.
it got a couple
Alright,
of them.
So here's
Got a couple of them, but not.
right, and
But it's used.
yeah, and mine's not even on here. What the hell? So, well, that's
Let me see what they
BS.
call.
There's a
let me
guy
see
with
what they call
3
this
views
bullshit.
on his R2R wreck
Yeah,
to
wrecked.
riches, and then there's the other one that's
Then that
upcoming, and then
John T. Valles.
I don't have that. Oh wait,
John T. Valles II, Chief Sonic Adventure 2 apologist.
Yeah, so you and I aren't seeing the same stuff. I'm only seeing the one.
I seen the R2R wrecked Two
Mhm.
Riches guy.
Yeah, I'm not seeing these.
And that goes to show you what the algorithm shows us.
Mhm.
Oh, if you scroll up, it refreshes the page.
Yeah.
Like if you scroll up all the way, and it then adds more in there for some
Right.
reason.
Okay. Well, yes, this is stuff that needs to be ironed out.
Addressed.
Yeah. Well, more than addressed. It needs to be ironed out. Got to fix this shit. So, because honestly, I'll be look. I have been an advocate for X before it became X, even when I was booted off of it. So I had no access to X for a few years when it was still Twitter, because I was booted off in 2020. So but I was still a big advocate as far as like the platform was superior. You know, it's like I'm an advocate for YouTube. I know people are like, oh, cringe when I say that, but YouTube is premium. It's a good platform. If you take away all the censorship, no one has a complaint, right? The only reason why anybody's complaining about YouTube or what, no one. YouTube is like crushing everyone other than X, and X is crushing everyone, including crushing YouTube. If you take the politics out, and then you'd have, Rumble would actually probably do really well if they took the politics out of it. And I'm not talking about getting rid of the political speak. I'm talking about the censorship they do and the politics behind the scenes. That junk needs to go. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and also they have to be more reserved and not get too bent out of shape whenever they get called out for bullshit that they're doing in plain view of everybody.
Yeah.
And they expect not to get called out on it. No, bullshit. We're going to call you out if you're doing wrong. And don't go and shadow ban and censor us just because, we called you out on it. And that's the bullshit that I like to hammer on every time with Rumble, because they currently do that to anybody that goes against the Rumble narrative. And it's bullshit.
Right. Well, again, the thing that I've been hammering since you and I started interacting has been the same thing. If you believe in freedom of speech, you will let people speak on anything, including your own downfalls. Because if you listen, maybe you'll pick up on something that will help the platform be better. I've spoken on a lot of things that would make Rumble a lot better, like firing certain people in their product division, and maybe getting rid of the CEO. I mean, these are all things that bore me who the hell I am. So it's like,
I know they know who I am too.
Well, so I don't know why they don't listen at least a little bit. I get kind of a little bit. I get it to a point. However, it's like if you Rumble will never be a competitor with YouTube ever. They need to realize that. So they have to it's not about chasing YouTube or X, it's about creating your own, because look, X is different from YouTube. YouTube is different from X. There's a lot of crossover, cross-pollination, but what you find is a lot of YouTubers use X to promote, just like you have a lot of Rumble people. You bring in your stuff to more people. So why don't you hone in on what you're really good at instead of trying to make a damn studio, trying to do this, trying to do that? It's like, hey, you guys are in over your head. And just because everybody else is doing something doesn't mean you need to be doing that too. You find your spot and stay there, because Rumble could be amazing if it really truly was a free speech platform.
Yeah,
team up with the team up with X.
Yeah. But the staff, they get so entrenched into helping their smaller streamers out that they make friendships with these smaller streamers.
Mm-hmm.
And then if there's any monicum of infighting,
Mm-hmm.
then boom, everything goes to shit for everybody. And then the people that have certain opinions that differ, they get pushed away and basically pushed to the back end of Rumble to where nobody's ever going to see them ever again.
Well,
Just because they don't hold certain values.
yeah, well, there's another side to Rumble that people haven't been really talking about that I spoke on the other day, last week, and that's who truly has the influence, and when you look at the backgrounds of these people, you understand the issue that we're facing with religious warfare right now, right? So you see the Islamists running around everywhere trying to take over. So if that is true, which I don't know if it is, it's like I said, it's a sneaking suspicion, and and I don't think I'm wrong about it, but just a suspicion. But if that is true, they cannot afford to have any voice that would really push back on them. Because I would be willing to bet anybody on Rumble Islam, I'm almost positive they will disappear on Rumble immediately. Because
or they can't really outright ban the big name people or people in general, but they can make you out to just be off the front page into the very back rooms where nobody's ever going to see you.
Right. Well, that's my
and that's
point.
The part of the shadow banning.
Yeah, that's my point. They're just not going to let you be found, sort to maybe bring more notoriety to the platform. But the reality is, if you're looking at it from a strategic point of view, taking sides and not taking a side, I should say, taking sides out of it. If you are trying to preserve your faith, religion, whatever, and you have and you're under control of a platform, or you are controlling a platform, I should say, you cannot get caught up in the optics of it. So, like, look at what's going on around the world right now. If you look at what's happening in Great Britain, which Islam, that's all Muslim over there. That's changing the dynamic of that great country. And so you have platforms that will, like, I think Rumble's a spy platform to find out who will be the problem children for going against Islam, which might be part of my problem, because I treat all religions equally. Fuck religion.
Yeah.
I'm all for your faith, and I've talked to Muslims in the past, personally, in face to face and online, and I've had great conversations with those Muslims, and I don't have a problem with Muslims and that's how we converse too. It's like, I'm not trying to impose my shit on you. You don't impose your shit on me. Now, the problem with that interaction is that's not the majority of Muslims. There are, because of how they interpret the Quran and how, I'm just saying how a large group of them interpret it. This is all out war for them. So they're willing to come in and take over everything and then make you bend the knee and kiss the ring. So you have these dynamics going on where you might have good people like Trump. Yeah, good people on both sides.
Yeah, good people on both sides.
And that's what religion is, when you boil it down to that aren't like necessarily subscribing to the religion, but we have kind of the base of our faith comes from maybe a religion or of some sort, but we don't try to impose. Take that out though, and this is all out. Look at what's happening in Michigan. Look at what's happening in Minnesota. You look at what's happening in Great Britain. You look at France. You look at look at Canada. You look at Australia. You look around the world, and it's kind of like, oh boy, things are starting to mount. So why wouldn't
we're gonna have some fun?
Yeah. So why wouldn't you manipulate things in a certain aspect? Patty Quinn in the house.
Yeah.
Joining in. Patty Quinn.
Holy crap, Patty Quinn.
Uh-oh. Let's see though. Is it Patty Quinn asking to come in? No, I don't see a
I
request.
think he's only wanting to listen just because all the other platforms are, except for YouTube. YouTube's actually pretty good stream, and it's
Yeah.
keeping up par
Well,
with what we're going with.
well, of course, the undead Kara got upset with me because I called her out for her bullshit. No, he's asking to come in. There we go. We got Patty Quinn in the house.
Oh, he is. Oh, hey, we get to finally hear him talk.
Twitch was good.
Yeah,
on
stop.
my end.
Yeah,
Nice.
well, on my end, it kept on freezing.
No, Twitch was good.
There you go.
Yeah, because Twitch started freezing for me. I can check. I can check again here.
Well, again, I think they're very particular. Like I think they hunt and peck for who they're gonna monkey with. It's like I'm very on top of this and have been for a while. I think it's selective. So, how you doing today, Mr. Quinn?
Oh, I'm doing good. I just got done playing some Fortnite with a friend.
Oh, nice. Get any wins?
No.
That makes me feel good. You want to know why it makes me feel good? Because that means
Because we got to win.
that means you and I are the winning team right now. Currently, you didn't win with
Yeah.
somebody else. You won with me. So,
Mhm.
See- yes, I am selfish. Next time you and your buddy can get a win. So it's always nice to get the win. Win makes you feel good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I saw her live on Twitch, and then I was like, oh, if you need a teammate when I get home from work, I can join. And then I joined for a few rounds, but I just wanted to do quests with her because I'm like, I'm not really in the mood to win. But we basically finished like top 10 all the time.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, you could do the quest with her, and then you can do the winning with me.
Yep.
Because I'm not into the quests. I mean, whatever. If they happen, they happen. But I'm not like, oh, we got to do all the
Yeah.
dang quests. What's funny is
Yeah.
in the past when I've played and actually like, done the season and just hardcore play every day. I've done that a few times, but
Mhm.
it all just happens naturally. I've never had to actually focus on what I need to do. If I'm hardcore just playing all the time, it just kind of happens without me paying attention. Like, oh, I've done that quest. Oh, I think did we lose? Did we lose Kenneth, Mr. Electric?
No,
Portals?
we did
Oh,
not. I
no.
don't think we lost. We're still here.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Yep.
Hello?
There you go.
I
Okay.
hear you. I hear you.
How dare you?
How dare you? How dare you? One of those cities that I was speaking on earlier.
No, I was mostly lurking when I came into your stream because I was playing. I wanted to give you a view and say hi in the chat, but I
Oh.
was mostly playing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Look.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate you being there and not listening. I mean, those are the best. Because then you don't get
That's neat
booze.
when-
No one throws
Yeah.
anything at you. No one tells you you're being horrible because they're just not
Yeah.
listening at that
Uh-huh.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yep, that's so me 24/7. I go somewhere and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'm not really listening. JK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what you thought about because you had commented or said hello to that undead Kara there over there in
Oh
Twitch,
yeah.
and
My
I wasn't
friend.
I wasn't sure if is that your friend?
Yeah.
Oh well, she don't like me now.
No, no, yeah, no.
Undead Kara. Let's
Because
see.
yeah, because of course, like I said, when I came into your chat, I was playing Fortnite with my friend, And then I just so happened to look over to the chat. I saw a car was. I'm like, oh hey, car stream, and I saw a car come in the chat, and I'm like, oh hey car, how's it going?
That's
Like,
fun. Well,
it was awkward a bit.
well, okay. So you've interacted with her in the past, then
Yeah,
a little
yes,
bit.
yes.
Okay. She called me a far right wing talking head.
Yeah.
This is when she said that points out what I've been trying to say about the left. They're delusional.
Yeah.
Like, did she not hear anything that I said that was also against the right? Like, I'm a constitutionalist, as you are well aware of. And
Yeah.
anybody that is right of left, so and this goes for not just her, but anybody on the left-hand side of the fence, anybody that is just a step to the right of them, all of a sudden becomes a right-wing nut job. And it's like, hold on, I'm a constitutionalist. How the hell am I a right-wing nut job? Did you hear me just say MAGA? Me say that? Nope, doesn't matter what I said. She's like, no, you're just a right-wing talking head. Like, okay, this is the problem we're dealing with in America, that just aren't willing to have a conversation. You know, for me, she lost me on the whole me being civil with her when she said hun. And it's like, all right, she's lucky I didn't say, all right, bitch. You call me hun? I don't think so. Because hun, to me, she's treating me like a child now. Women tend to do that, too. They call you hun or dear. Listen, dear. Listen, hun. And it's like, okay, you want to play that game? I don't think so. Go ahead.
One of my Twitch friends, to everyone in the chat, even the streamer too, is like, oh hey, how's it going, hun? Okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care, but I'm doing good, you know.
Right. Well, yeah, and sometimes it is just a part of your speech patterns. But it does have a controlling quality where I'm above here. It's like mom or my grandma or my sister. So you don't really get to just start calling me that. If you're a friend over time, maybe. But if you're a woman and you don't know the guy you're talking to, the moment you say hun or dear,
yeah.
Oh yeah, she said she's 34. So I got 12 years on her.
No,
I got 10 years on you too.
Friend that says
Patty breaking up on your end, or is it just mine?
I hear him about clear, but then it goes a little choppy. But it's otherwise okay.
All right, it does that little tingy stuff. That's what I'm getting on my end.
Yeah.
All right. No worries. I just wanted to ask, make sure I'm not the only one.
Illustrious conversation over here.
Well, so she, Undead Kara. I'm going to take advantage of her for a second. She did bring up the Michigan church shooting and burning the church thing down. Because she apparently wanted to know how I felt about it. I was going to talk about it a little bit tonight, maybe. It's not one of those things that's important to me. It's a tragedy, but I think the guy's mentally ill. I think a lot of different things. And to me, it's one of those scenarios that I think is being blown up out of proportion because people can use it for politics. And anytime you start using bad situations like that for politics so quickly too, it's not like it happened 2 weeks ago and we're like finding out all this real information and oh my goodness, what a tragedy, and oh look, it was all politically driven. No. Instead of finding out on our own that it was maybe politically driven, they have just defined it as politically driven when it might not have been politically driven at all. Might just be let's let's wait for the dust to settle a little bit. So what do you guys? Do you, either one of you have any other kind of a thought process on that?
Well, I'm still waiting for a lot more information to come out about like who the person really was. Was he one of these Islamist converts like we've been hearing about? And I'm just like, what the fuck? It's just big ton of men look at it again.
Yeah, I think the guy was crazy, and
I just think he was just a crazy asshole that decided, oh hey, let's go burn a church today because I feel like it.
yeah, I think so too.
Do you both think that there's some shenanigans going on with the political side of things? Because we've seen them release a picture that he had with his family, where he's wearing a Trump shirt. But I've even noticed right away, it's like that
Yeah, it was
isn't even-
photoshopped.
Yeah,
it
it's
was photoshopped Trump
so-
shirt.
So, but you have almost the entirety of the left on social media grab that picture and pump it out there like it's
Yeah.
real. So, like, how do you guys feel about that from your perspective?
Get a one up on the other side, which would be right wingers like Trump supporters and everything else.
Mhm.
It's always the same fucking bullshit every time.
Yeah,
And I'm just tired
I
of it.
agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Do you guys think that you can be a Trump supporter without being a far right nut job?
Of course.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
All right, I just want
Like-
to make sure that I'm lamb-based the left if they're stepping out of constitutionality, right? Like as soon as they step out of constitutional line, I'm calling it out almost 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So, I feel like I feel this way because I don't know for sure, but the climate right now of this country, again, it goes back to the lefties that just think as soon as they hear you say, I voted for Trump, I support Trump, they immediately think that you're some far right lunatics or idiots. I'm all about the
Yeah.
Constitution here. So it's not because I'm a far righty or anything else. I'm about the Constitution, and I want everybody to understand. Kind of, you don't have to be a lefty or a righty to support somebody. You don't actually have to
Yeah.
be a lefty or a righty to support the Constitution. In fact, it's better to not be a lefty or a righty. It's better to just be kind of where I'm at. Be independent. Just
Mhm.
Be centrist.
yeah, the centrist thing, which then that one's a tough one too.
Get you in trouble too. It really does.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, say it again and think about it for a second, because they don't.
Because I'm because according to their stupid little political compass test, which
Mhm.
I think is inaccurate and very fucking stupid, with the statements they put forth, they placed I went through all that bullshit and they placed me slightly center left,
Mhm.
libertarian,
Mhm.
just slightly, and I'm just like, this shit's fucked up.
Right. Well, look up the word censure. So when you say centrist, a lot of people hear centrist, and that.
Oh, I'm not a censure. I do not do
Yep.
censure.
Right. Exactly.
Censure is stupid.
Mhm.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so when we didn't declare America. We didn't declare Republican. We didn't declare Democrat. We declared independence. So,
Yeah.
like that's all that it matters. And if we can
Independent
have
thought. I love it.
Yeah, well, look, we had a whole bunch of guys get into a room. For how long did they battle out creating the Constitution? And none of them thought alike. They were from all different walks of life. They all had different perspectives, but they found the middle ground. The middle ground was and is the United States Constitution as
Yeah.
originally written. So if we can all just understand we're all independent entities we each have a state of our own union. Patty, you have your own state of your being, your personal being. Kenneth, you have a state of your own personal being, and we all are separate states from one another, but we can, again, have time we really unite truly is in times of war, when somebody wants to take our independence from one of us or another, and in times of natural disaster. But we don't deal that way now, because we have a country that's predominantly been pushed and is now run by socialists, people who want the country to feel dependent. That was you go and you talk to a cleric or something of any of these religions, and they would help you out. That was where the social programs were. They had the food drives, they had they'd give you some clothing, they'd help you out if you needed a place to stay. That's where it was. Now it's moved to government, which that's a problem. Because if you just go look at the definition of socialism, and then you look at the definition of communism, do the simple math. That's why I'm always saying socialism is soft communism, and it always leads to full-on communism. So, look at Canada right now. Oh, good God. Look at Australia. And then look at Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer. I say it like that. When I say his name like that, Keir Starmer, that's straight up Nazi German right there. And he is. When you listen to that guy talk, it's like, holy crap. And remember, Nazi Germany was socialist, like extreme socialist.
Nationalist. Socialist.
Yes, yep. And so which they were one step away from communism. And you saw how it played out. So when you have somebody like Keir Starmer over there in Britain as the prime minister, and you hear the rhetoric, and then you see what's going on with how they're basically using, and this is horrible. I hope there's some Muslims out there that are listening. The communists, the socialists, communists, whatever, they are using Islam as their foot soldiers. So they don't have to have a uniform. They just like we'll let the religious people, for a pretty radical religion at times, depending on who's enacting it, we'll let those people go and create hate and discontent. We'll let them overrun the majority. And then once that happens, we will then destroy them, and everyone will now have to be part of this new world order, communist regime. Crazy. Pretty simple, though. It's brilliant. Again, strategy-wise, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Like we touched upon the Islamist stuff going in Great Britain, but we're going to go bring it back to America for a bit, like Dearborn, Michigan. Oh my Lord. It's gotten way out of hand over in Dearborn, because now at like 5:30 in the frickin' morning, they get the Muslim call to prayer blasted over loudspeakers.
Yeah, just wait till that happens at 5:30 a.m. In dead of winter, January, when it's freezing cold in Dearborn, and there's like 4 feet of snow on the ground, and like, what do you need to be blasting that over the sound? What do you need to be blasting that for? Nobody's out praying at that time, and if they are, maybe that's what you do. Try to lure them outside and let them freeze to death. Anyway.
Maybe. But I'm just like, I understand that they have their right to practice their religion in America, but what they do not have the right to do is trample the rights and the religions of other people. They have people walking the streets of Dearborn, Michigan, enforcing Sharia law.
Right.
And I'm just like, the fuck?
Yeah, what you're talking about right now is the infringement. It's imposition. So,
yes,
it's like, again, we'll talk about this tonight with Great Britain, but I'm going to use them as an example. Great Britain won't let you can't talk about Christianity because it might be offensive, but they can talk about Islam. They can talk about Allah. So, but again, I always say, well, Great Britain's never had free speech, and at this rate, it never will. So they're working from a different foundation. Here in the United States, though, that is imposition when you are taking
Yes.
for the city, and you are piping out one religious rhetoric over another, and then imposing on people this rule, like the Sharia law. Well, the only law that we have here in the United States is the Constitution, and it plainly cites in the United States Constitution, in the First Amendment, that you have freedom of religion, freedom of faith. Again, you can practice your stuff, but you this, that, and the other because you're praying. And you sure as hell don't get to use government, whether it's city government, state government. You do not get to use the government loudspeakers to push your stuff out there above anything else. Because for every minute that you do your Islamist prayers, we now get to do another minute of Jehovah Witness stuff. We get to do then another a minute of Mormon stuff. We get one religion or whatnot. You have to give them to all the
You
other.
have to give it to all.
Yeah, and that's why we've said under God. So we're not putting anybody's God over another, and we're just kind of acknowledging that there is a God that's above us, and you can determine on what you call God.
Whoever it is.
Yeah, and that's what makes it simple.
You can support Vishnu for all I care.
Yep, it's a beautiful thing that we have here in this country. However, you're pointing out a great fact, Dearborn, and Minnesota also, Minneapolis, St. Paul has the same problem too, I think, where they're piping this stuff out over loudspeakers without, because here's the thing too. Okay, all right, Islamists, you get to pipe it out 5 times a day. Are you going to be okay if somebody reads from the Bible 5 times a day? Every single time you do that, right after that, somebody's reading from the Bible and doing a Christian prayer, you going to be okay with that? Because if you're not...
They've already said no.
Yeah, well, and because if you're not, then... So, they've already said no, so guess what? You guys are done. See, that's where Trump needs to actually put the National Guard next, right there. Be done with this crap. I'm glad he's in Portland.
Yes.
Hopefully, and I'm glad he's getting rid of the DEI. Atlanta's going to be a disaster in the end, one way or another.
Oh Lord.
And that's sad though. I want the country to be a great place. If we all follow the Constitution, pretty damn great country at that point.
Oh hell yeah. Because then problem is just people just take stuff way too serious instead of letting stuff breathe for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then if they just let it breathe for a little bit and be like, oh, okay, and then get a better understanding about what's going on, then everything would be a little bit better. But nobody wants to take the time out of their busy day to be courteous to one another.
I love that word. Courtesy. To be courteous. It's kind of part of the fabric of this great country, this great nation. With the Constitution, having a strong Constitution means being courteous.
This
Patty gives us a
oh yeah.
Look, sorry everybody. Patty's upset because the Mets got eliminated, and
No, I'm not a Met fan. I'm a
oh.
Yankee fan.
Okay. Wow,
I'm
that
a
was
Yankee fan.
Wow, I really screwed that one up. I got hammered with that
Yankees. I live, breathe, die by the Yankees. Aaron Judge is the GOAT.
Well, I was bringing the Mets up because they got eliminated, and the stat was they had the best record in baseball, and then on Gay Pride Day or something, July something, I don't know what it was. They did a little
June 23rd.
Yeah, that. And they flew the gay pride flag, and then they had the worst record in baseball from that moment on. And it made me think, I thought of that, and then I thought, oh, shit. Gay pride has become a religion. What if we say, you know what, you Islamists and you Alphabet Soup Club members, if you guys can actually work together, then we'll let you get away with everything. See, but the problem is they'll eat each other to death because we already know true Islamists will murder. I don't necessarily want that because I think people with mental illnesses should be allowed to have a good, happy life. I just also believe they need to live in reality, and we need to work with that in some way or shape or form. They've been told a lie that they're normal and that they're part of the average, and they're not. Look, you're a little different. You don't want to procreate with the opposite sex. You can't procreate when you're doing the same gender. And this mental illness stuff, look, it's a serious business, and it's tough. And I don't think that it makes them any less of a human being, so I care. But we've been lying to them for so long, and they are so delusional to think that the Islamists, the Muslim people, actually would team up with them. I mean, how many have you seen? Gays for Palestine or whatever, and them not having a clue if they were in if they were in Palestine that they would get killed.
Gays for public hangings.
Yeah, it's like, what are you guys crazy? But that's the reality of it. So if they can get along, and if the Islamists are willing to fly the gay pride flag while praying with gay along, and they can do that, then fair game. Fair game. But I think the main reason why I want to point that out is that's the problem. Neither one of those groups of people, though, will acquiesce to the other when the truth comes out. So right now, they're all lying to each other. At some point, the truth will come out. And when the truth comes out, they're going to be looking at each other, and they are going to be adversarial at that point. This is just how crazy of a time that we're living in here in the United States and around the world. So, like tonight, we're going to really hammer on Great Britain, Canada, Australia, and we're going to really probably lean into the religious topic a little bit more.
Let me think. No, let me go do a little quickie scroll here. Nah, not too serious. That is burning questions. Yeah, nothing. There's really nothing that's like, jumps out at me as anything that's pertinent at the time.
Patty, anything from you?
No, I got nothing. No.
Nothing? Oh, okay. All right. Well, fine. You guys don't want to hear me bitch about other things?
Fine.
Okay. If you just want to hear me bitch about
Well,
that, then that's good. Okay.
Yes, let's bitch about Islam because Islam is the major issue. Now I'm joking.
And now you're getting a knock at your door. You've now offended someone over in Great Britain, and the British police are at your door in Texas.
Hello, can we speak to somebody who owns Electric Porpoise Productions?
That's pretty good. That's a good accent. Good job.
We have received some complaints from some people in the Islamist community.
Now, you hear that? Patty's
No,
got actual
get
sirens
outta
out
here.
his door right now. They're coming to knock down his door just for listening to this right now.
Yeah.
The Islamists basically own Britain at this point, so we have to do it.
Well, okay, so before I shut this thing down, because we're getting close to time to wrap it up for the day cast here. I have to remind people, I had this conversation the other day with Polly Chaser from Twitch, and I was already kind of fired up about stuff because anytime you know how I feel about religion, so religion gets me fired up. So, but I was trying to explain to him that there's really all religions are equal because there's really no difference as far as how it ends up playing out. And he wanted to say, no, Islam's the worst, blah, 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 blah. Well, yeah, you got a point. It's kind of radical, but look at what's happened in history. The Christians have done a pretty damn good number with like the Spanish Inquisition, and you've got, you know, all the wars that they've fought over, and how many lives have died just based on Christianity, you know?
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Right. Like, wait, what? What did they do? Oh, yeah, they did that. They say Inquisition, but what that was mass murder of anyone who didn't just declare the God.
Catholic papacy.
Yup, yeah, like that's end of story. So what you're talking about is the exact same thing. That is the exact same thing. And that was, holy crap, how long did the Spanish Inquisition last? I mean, it lasted
It was
a
probably from the
while.
1400s. I think was it the 1400s or the 1500s?
I can't remember. I'm not a date guy on that, but it lasted quite some time. And then again, like I said, the other wars outside of that realm that happened.
Okay.
Go ahead.
1478 to 1834.
Yeah, so when I
Damn.
bring up the Spanish Inquisition, that was 400 flipping years of disaster. Are you sure it was that long? That seems.
It says Encyclopedia Britannica.
Mm-hmm.
The Spanish Inquisition was from let's see, the rise of the Spanish Inquisition was in the 1478 and ended in 1834. Let me get better dates, but they have it in Encyclopedia Britannica. If anybody wants to go look at it, I'll give Speak the link in through Twitch over here.
People need to understand that how insane that is.
Yeah, that's over like almost 300 years worth of.
That's insanity, right?
Yeah, almost. It was getting close to 300 years worth of.
And that
just
was
going after people.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And if you didn't declare that was your religion, I think that kind of led up to why our founders got on little wooden boats and floated this direction.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, Columbus in 17 whatever, he found some land over there. I think that's a good place to disappear to.
1492.
Yeah. I think that's a good place. Maybe we need to revisit a thought process on maybe going over where he said that there's a big mass of land, because I don't think the Spanish are going to try to find us there. Which, oh wait, they kind of, yeah, they did.
Well, they did, but then they couldn't really control that area all too well because everybody grouped together and said, "Fuck you, bitch! We're doing our own thing."
Well, look, the Spanish finding. Well, look, they killed all the Aztecs for the most part. Like, look, there's white Mexicans out there, white redheaded Mexicans that have Spanish lineage.
Yeah,
for one reason or another.
That's my little brother. He's ginger as can be.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, well, you know, there's a reason why. Like, I didn't realize there was white, pale skin, blue eyed Mexicans until I was a teenager. I had no idea, and then I dated one thinking she was a Caucasian, and then go to family dinner with her, you know, at her family, and then oh wait, they're all.
You hear?
They're all.
Hola, ¿cómo está, señor?
Yeah.
You just hear that shit coming out.
Yes. Yeah, Speedy Gonzalez was there at the table. So,
hello, my name.
Which was awesome. It's like they conquered a lot, and they used their faith as the reason why. So when you start talking about Islam It's like, I'm not going to say that they're better or less than or whatever. It just goes into my whole argument of it's religion. And whoever is the leader of said religion is probably at fault, right? So, like, if tomorrow the Pope decides to say, hey, we need to eradicate X, Y, and Z, the majority of Catholics are going to go, all right, the Pope said so. He is the Word of God. Boom, we're doing it. And it's like, oh shit, really? So you have this type of a thought process throughout the planet for every single religion out there. So you got to be really careful with this stuff. Another reason why I don't like religion. It's like just testimony from people who have maybe a different perspective and different background in faith. It's pretty amazing thing if we actually put it into practice. The problem is everybody wants to control each other for one reason or another. I still haven't figured that out yet. Why?
Yeah. There's got to be at least some reason why everybody wants to just control and make everybody be under somebody else's thumb. There's just some reason. I don't know.
Safety. They don't believe it's safe if it's not done their way. You know, it's the people that they refuse to ride with somebody else driving. They have to drive no matter what. It's those people.
Yeah.
You know, the next level Karens. And then you, of course, you have a spectrum of Karens out there. The nasty ones, and then the ones that are kind of just finding their way. You know, it's a thing. But it's a control. When you, and this is why you tend to see things fall kind of with faith, right? Like people with faith tend to let go more and understand that they're not in control. They give it up to God. People that don't really have faith, they try to control everything. And the only reason why people with faith, the religious people of faith, get a little squirrely is because then they're like, in the name of God, I'm going to do that because I have to do this for God. Then that's a whole different type of thing too, which goes in line with the people that are like, well, Mother Earth can't protect herself. I have to do it for her. All of these different ideologies floating around out there that want to control each other based on fear and safety. And it's the fear of them not being safe. And then they want to elevate themselves to a higher intellect, or what they assume is higher intellect, to the world. Like, well, that's offensive. That's bullshit.
How dare.
And all three of us agree on it. And then we go and unplug the speakers. We go, we shut the whole dang thing down. But the reality is,
we're going to get prosecuted to the highest extent of the law at that point, if it's just us three.
No, not necessarily, because this is a percentage thing. That's basically what's already happening on social media, is just a small amount of people are deciding for the rest.
Yeah.
My point with that is, we're taking away the opportunity for other people to make the decision. We then anoint ourselves in some weird way of being the great arbiters. We then become the ministry of truth, if you will. And we then believe for some reason that we know better, or we know what's best for the rest. And that's just not the case. And maybe we do know what's best, but we have to allow other people to make the decision for themselves. And you just don't find that happening on a vast spectrum right now throughout society. And so what we see in Britain is just a taste of what we're about ready to see here. What we see in Canada, the same thing. We're surrounded by this group think, and the group isn't that big. It's a small. It's percentage-wise, it's a group of 3 out of 1,000 people. That's what you're dealing with social media. How many social media platforms are there, and how many of them actually cross-pollinate with people who are all interacting with each other behind the scenes, like a uniparty, and they all believe they should have the final say? It's a very small percentage. And then you get government involved, like we're finding out with the Biden administration. And then you think about the predecessor to Biden, Obama, and the predecessor to Obama, Bush. During Bush, we had the Patriot Act, which took away almost all of our fourth. I wonder why I just say what I think all the time without any hesitation. I got the Constitution on my side. I have God on my side. And I understand that I'm not actually trying to hurt anybody. I'm trying to get people to understand, hey, we got to lean into the Constitution. Hey, if we are all practicing the Constitution, it really doesn't matter if you like to fuck tortoises or not. Buy a tortoise, do it on your property, in your own home, and don't tell anybody about it. And no one will be the wiser. You can be a tortoise fucker. Is that sick and disgusting? Yeah. Should you be doing it? No. But you want to do it? Fine. Just don't let PETA know. Because if PETA finds out, they're gonna try to crucify you once you leave your property. But that's the thing. People struggle.
Well, PETA's even fucking a retarded organization.
Right. Sorry, I'm sorry I brought PETA up, but because see, ultimately,
I know, but PETA
now is on the same
itself
side
is still retarded.
Right. Well, because PETA's on the same side of the fence as the tortoise fucker. Like that's the thing that's the craziness. That's the hypocrisy of it all.
Yeah.
The sheep fucker and PETA are on the same side of the fence. Make that make sense. We can't make it make sense because that's the delusion that I'm talking about. And that's the divisiveness that they've been using. See, community divides. Neighborhoods don't divide. Communities divide. Communities divide and then impose the community guidelines. And this is why I'm so hated on social media, because community is a driving force of social media. And people don't realize they're all being manipulated and brainwashed into this community action. You should just be a good neighbor. Be a good neighbor. Yeah. Good neighbors don't impose their bullshit on their neighbors. Community members, again, they're a member, and they will impose the community guidelines. And if you do not hold to the community guidelines, oh boy, we've all seen it multiple times already. And it's like, I don't even have to really make a case for it anymore. I can't rest my case, though, because people haven't figured it out how evil community is. So, it's horrible when you really line it out on how it works. So, I like, see, and it all started from a certain perspective, right? Of like, hey, we want to be inclusive, and we want to accept people, and we want, there are people out there that aren't part of you. There are outsiders. Okay. If you say, hey, come be a part of my neighborhood, just come be a part of my neighborhood. My neighborhood could expand throughout the whole planet here. My neighborhood could expand to Mars, all the way outside of the solar system. My neighborhood could exist. Because there's a different ideology with neighborhood compared to community. Because remember, you have what's his name over in New York, the guy running for mayor? And I wish I had the clip right now because I saw it earlier, but I didn't save it. I should have. I didn't think I was going to talk.
What is his name again?
Mamdani or whatever. Yeah, say it again, Patty. You're right there in his backyard.
Mamdani.
Mamdani. Anyway, he's running for mayor of New York.
Okay. Let's see.
So he just said recently, though, he's going to create. Oh shit! How the hell do you do that?
Wait, what's what? What the fuck, Patty? Oh, you can do that shit? Okay.
Yeah. How the fuck did you do that shit?
You go.
Wait. There's a bottom that says
I'm learning
replies. No,
I'm learning new things here. This is insane.
You go to where you wanna
I like that.
Well, look at that. I learned something new today. I saw other people doing it all this time, and I never knew that I could do that. I thought they were special. I guess now we're special.
Yeah.
Look how special we are. So yeah, so is this the one I'm kind of talking about? No, it says Commie Mom Donnie is trying to bark back at Trump, but you can see the truth all over his face. He knows that this
Yeah, and it's a video.
a denaturalization and deportation. What I was talking about is he was talking about making communes in New York and paying for all this shit. And-
Was he on a white background?
I can't remember. I can't remember. There we go. I'm dismissing your share there for now. But the whole point is, it's like, where do you think the root? What do you think the root of community is? It's commune. Like when you start breaking down the words, and then the action of the words, because you have the definition of the word, which is meaning, but what is the action? When the meaning is then put into action, what does that look like? What does that do? And when you look around social media, you have a whole bunch of socialists. There are a whole bunch of communists. So for me, I've been trying to open people's minds to, hey, the internet can just make us all neighbors, and we should all just be neighbors on the internet. Because as soon as because how many times, holy smokes, I've seen it from afar. I have observed this. I know that Kenneth has experienced this himself, where getting kicked out of a Discord community, getting kicked out of
not really Discord. It was just getting kicked out of Rumble, and then subsequently not being interacted with through Discords and all that.
Right.
All the
thing.
social media
being shunned.
To me.
Patty says it's happened to him too. So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, people being shunned or kicked out. Which, when you're shunned, you're basically kicked out. They're just waiting for you to leave on your own.
Excommunicado.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Gotta love the Catholicism right there. The excommunication.
Yep.
It's true though. It comes in very many different forms.
Yeah. For me, the way I got kicked out of a Discord and some of Twitch streams, it was when Trump the wall and deport these illegals, and then next thing in a Discord I was in, this one guy that was the owner of it was like, "Oh, I didn't know you were a racist and a bigot." And I said no. I replied, I said no. And before I can say something else, they kicked me from the Discord and blocked and banned me from their streams in that Discord. So I said my good mornings like I usually do in every Discord I'm in. So I went in that Discord, I said good morning, and then next thing, like maybe 5-10 minutes later, the owner of that Discord DM'd me, was like, "Oh, people have come to me saying you've been saying racist things, and people they're trying to take people's rights away from them, and I kind of agree with the people that say you're a racist and stuff like that." And he was like, "I hope you didn't mean it, but as of right now, I ban you from my streams and I banned you from my Discord." So yeah, that's what happened to me.
You should never have to be forced to apologize or take back anything that you've said.
Yeah,
just because.
I did it.
No, it sounded wrong.
Yeah, it was. I'm like, hey, I just didn't like the way Biden was running the country, and I'm like, it's time for a change. And of course, I like Trump, so I'm like, I want my boy Trump back.
Yeah, and that just created a fallout right there, didn't it? It was like you dropped a nuclear bomb on their head.
Yeah,
like, you gotta go. We can't handle you.
Yeah, and then they try to get my girlfriend involved by DMing her saying, "Oh, how can you go out with a racist and a bigot?" And then that's when she had to. Many people thought I was talking about these illegals. I'm like, I just spoke about illegals. That was it, and they saw it as a whole thing and was like, "Yeah, you gotta get out of here."
One facet of their ideology you're coming after everything.
Yeah.
And it's I think wing gamers that couldn't make it anywhere else, like Twitch or YouTube, and
Yeah.
it's asinine.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they don't want to hear the gay. I'm not anti-lesbian. I'm not anti-bisexual. I am not anti anybody. Like I said, I think I even advocated for tortoise fuckers earlier.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You did.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I advocated for tortoise fuckers. Just to let's put that down there, so that's in concrete, so people are aware. I'm okay with tortoise fuckers, as long as it's on their property, in their own home, and I don't know about it. See how that works? Just don't tell me. We're good. I'm not breaking down your house or breaking down your door either, even if I do find out, because I don't want to catch you with your dick in the tortoise. Anyways, I'm okay with you doing whatever the hell you want to do, as long as you're not imposing on me. And as long as you're not imposing on somebody else. And I'm not going to be the great arbiter of that truth and making those decisions on whether you're imposing on somebody else or not. And, you know, and it has to be a physical imposition, by the way. And that's a whole nother conversation. But these people do not want to even anybody that thinks that they're a woman that is actually born a natural male. And I only go after them in pretty much one context. When they are trying to go and play in female sports. That's the only time I really go after them. Outside of that, I don't really give a shit. But here's the other thing that I will call out, and I have said, but I don't try to, like, go and, like, I don't seek these people out. And even if I'm interacting with them, I don't, like, try to, like, oh, you're mentally ill. But they need to be aware they're mentally ill, that they have an issue. And okay with that, but no, you're sane. You're normal. Sorry, you're not normal. God made a man and God made a woman. God made a man with a dick and balls. God made a woman with a vagina. Why? So the dick and balls of the man could go into the female vagina and create another human being that might pop out a woman or a man. So, that being said, if you are born a man,
The balls too.
yeah, that too. Well, anyways, let's not get too technical right now. The whole point is, whole point is, when you are born a male and you have the little dingly dangly bits, and just because you're playing pretend or you've got it in your mind somewhere, you know, because your wires might have been crossed at birth or whatnot, right? It's natural. Your brain's not wired correctly. So you don't find the opposite sex attractive. You somehow find the same sex attractive, or you don't find any sex attractive. You're just kind of, you're not sexual. You're just like, my dick doesn't get hard when I'm around women, and my dick doesn't get hard when I'm around guys. Shit, I don't even think my dick works. It don't get hard. Well, because of that, now I'm going to chop it off and become a woman. Huh? No. You're just different. And it's okay to be different. It's okay to have a mental issue. We all have some sort of, yeah, right? It's okay. We're not like, but you don't have to like because this is what this is right now. This group of people are imposing, kind of like certain religions are trying to impose, certain political standpoints are trying to impose. When you try to force other people to think and believe and say what you think, believe, and say, that's an imposition. Especially when you say, well, if you don't say what we want you to say, we're kicking you out. You don't get to stay here. You don't get to be a part. You're not one of us at all. Which, okay, that's fine, but you can't.
Yeah.
I got booted off of Twitter in 2020 because I just asked the question: can we now just call this what it is? Mental illness. That's all I said, and I got booted off of Twitter permanently. Elon hasn't even reinstated my account from then. So, you know, and it was just a question. Can we just call it what it is? A mental illness. You go say this shit to any group of lefties, you already know what is going to happen to me if I go and say that to them. They lose their shit. And so and that's why they tie all of this together. They can just automatically lose their shit. That's why you got called a bigot and all of the other words in the book that you got called, Patty, when they kicked you out just because you're a Trump supporter, because they align all of these thought processes with Trump because, and this is the crazy thing.
Yeah.
Because they were told.
Yeah.
They didn't see it. They didn't witness it. They didn't experience it. They were told. That's it.
Yeah.
They have absolute zero evidence to Donald J. Trump being any of the things that they've been calling him for the last, 10 years now?
Mm-hmm.
Zero evidence. But nope, they're willing to fight with you and maybe even physically harm you because you said you voted for Trump or because you agree with Trump. By default, it makes Patty Quinn and Electric Porpoise evil fucking pieces of shit. They're Hitler.
Yeah.
They're Hitler followers. Damn them.
Yeah, the worst thing that I was ever called during my life, a fucking communist. Whenever
How the hell were you called a communist? Explain that one to me.
All right, let me go, because I was talking about like how there were certain people that were getting more recognition than they actually even deserved, because they were then going. I had to pull up my receipts here. Give me a minute.
You and your darn receipts.
It was my receipts that I never save.
The communists are the ones that are playing the game that I'm outlining right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I couldn't even save my receipts because they kicked me from the Discord.
To me, that's all the receipts
I gotta start saving.
you need. You got.
Yeah.
I gotta.
If you, because on Discord, I don't know Discord that well, but do they have a thing that says that you've been blocked or been booted?
Well,
Yeah.
they notify you whenever you try to join back up with like, oh hey, I thought it was on this thing. I like these people, and then you try joining back, and it says, oh, you have been banned.
There you go. That's all the receipt you need right there. All you have to do is go try to rejoin them, and it'll pop up, and boom, you're good. There's your receipt. They banned me. They banned me. Damn it. Wouldn't it be funny though if you went to get the receipt to rejoin them? But I guess now I got to. Damn it.
Yep.
All right, Kenneth.
Okay.
You and your receipts are taking too long. What's going on? Did you find them?
I got it. I found part of the receipts here is whenever it was back in April of this year, where Chris was starting about, you were talking about Jack, the previous owner of Twitter, being an expert of censoring creators, not step in and do it for you. I don't trust you at all. And then somebody mentioned that Rumble censors chat without creator control. Rumble has struggled at times to get creators their funds in a timely manner. You promised the world free speech. You wave that banner every day, but your ego, your team carries, stands in your way at times. No platform was innocent of this. And whenever somebody named Yafune Knizi, which he is a staunch Rumble supporter and has since unfollowed me after this bullshit, saying Rumble only censors certain words in live chat and comments in order to have Rumble app in the Google and Apple stores. Content creators have freedom of speech to say and show exactly what they want, except for pornography, threats of violence, etc. That is what you are missing. And I told him, sorry, Knizi, but the first line you have just said there was propaganda in order to justify the censorship. You've been sold a lie, and I have never posted content that goes against Rumble's terms of service, and I've been shadow banned and stripped of monetization just for telling the truth about the chat censor and the blatant favoritism of other creators. And one person called Fatal Investings, after this whole entire situation with Knizi blew up, was saying, "Oh, this guy sounds like a communist," and I was like, "Oh, hello, comrade. I guess I'm communist now," and just making fun of his ass. I guess I'm communist now because it was a new schism.
Gotcha.
Because I was calling out shit.
Yeah, you weren't being communist. You were calling out what Rumble claimed as everyone has an equal opportunity. So if you're good, you're going to be good, and you'll be seen as good, and you'll get the recognition for being good. And if you suck, you're gonna suck, and you're not gonna get recognition. You were actually calling out Rumble being communist and only pushing out the rhetoric that is in that favorable tenor for the commune itself. So it was Rumble has been all about protecting its reputation to the community. The community. So they're the ones that are communist. And it's very true. If you look around, and I'm very hard on people all the time. I'm hard on myself too, but you've got a lot of lefties that now find themselves righties, but they've never changed the far left side, and like, those guys are fucking nuts. We can't be on that side. That's horrible. So they migrate to the conservative side of things, call themselves conservatives, even though they are not. And you have that on Rumble. You have a mass population of ex-Democrats that are still Democrats, but they call themselves Republicans or Trumpies or whatever, but they're still peddling the same ideology, the same rhetoric, and it's absolute BS. And so these people that you interacted with were just falling for the rhetoric of Rumble, and because they want to gain favor, they're willing to throw anybody under the bus to get it. They want to be Rumble famous. They want to be all of these things and bend the knee, kiss the ring to Rumble alone. And I'm fine if that's what they want to do, but they're willing to scalp your head for it. They're scalp mine, I guess, too. I've never had an issue with any of these people because I think they figured out real quick they ain't making any headway with me, so they just picked on you.
And the reason why I was having a hard time finding my receipt was because the person that he was commenting under.
You broke up there.
Because the way I was trying to find the Fatal Investing tweet saying, "Oh, what a communist," and where it stemmed from. And the reason why I couldn't find where it stemmed from was because the person that was that retweeted my stuff deleted their post, but I still found it. But I still found out where it was.
Yeah. All right. Well, fair enough.
And from the day April 12th of 2025 to April the 19th is whenever this shit went down, and it's just like, motherfucker, man.
Communism, gotta love it.
Communism, gotta love it. And I just poking fun at them, just saying, "Oh, you think I'm a fucking communist just because I'm calling people out for stupid ass bullshit that needs to be called out?"
Well,
I guess I'm communist now.
Here's the bigger take on this too. So Yefkanese, he calls you out, or not calls you out, but he's trying to explain this is why Rumble does what they do, so they can maintain, and the propaganda side of things that you called him out for was maintain a position on the App Store. So this has been the rallying cry for a lot of people to say that censorship's okay, from X, YouTube, Kick, Twitch, Rumble, any of these platforms that are on the App Store. This is their excuse for the censorship. 100%. Every single time. That's the excuse. Well, if they don't, then they won't be able to be on the App Store. All right. So who runs the App Store?
Show me that they will be censored.
Well, they have had that interaction out there. But my point, then you don't talk to the apps about this, you now talk to Google and Apple about this. And then that's the root of it. Because, see, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Censorship only exists within the people. So, again, like the example I used with the three of us censoring for others, this is what happens. This is why I'm anti-moderator in chat spaces. Moderators become little dictators, and they start censoring any fucking bullshit that they think needs to be censored. And there is absolutely no excuse for it because people can ignore or not read, or they can read and make a decision for themselves. Censoring in the chat. See, that's social media on all platforms is a way to manipulate and brainwash everybody into justifying a form of censorship with speech. So again, all through Rumble, all through X, all through any of these platforms that have chat spaces during a live, they all have moderators. I might be the only person that doesn't run an moderator. I don't moderate my stuff. I don't have anybody come moderate for me. I won't do it because I don't believe in any kind of censorship at any level. So if you're going to make any headway, you have to go after Apple. You have to go after Google, and you have to make them hold the First Amendment line. So whether they like things or not, it doesn't matter. If you want to, if people want to have porn apps, let them have porn apps. But you need to just say, this is 18 plus and blah, 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 and you've done all you need to do, knowing that younger kids are going to find it anyways. Because why? Why do I know this? Because you can go into your search right now on any computer, anywhere, type in nude whatever, and there's going to be naked chicks and naked dudes immediately.
Everywhere.
So why does it matter that we're controlling the apps this way? It doesn't. It shouldn't matter, but they're making an excuse to then be able to come in and manipulate, brainwash people into justifying and censoring each other. Because quite honestly, the biggest censor isn't the social media platforms. The biggest censor isn't even the apps or the app stores. It's people censoring each other, and it happens all the damn time, and they justify it. And it's like, hey, you want to censor? Then you're not a constitutionalist. You don't believe in the First Amendment. If you're censoring for other people, if you're censoring for yourself, that means you're ignoring it. You're turning it off. Turn the dial, or don't listen. Don't even get online, or don't turn the radio on, or don't turn the television on. Like, you can censor for yourself, but the moment that you cross over and censor information from other people, that's when you're imposing your will on others.
Yes.
So that's where it crosses the line. And
how dare you promote self-control?
Yeah. Well, and again, that's why I get censored. They don't want people hearing what I just said. Because, like, if you walk into a library and you're like, is this the entirety of your catalog? Is all the information I need here? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. So you go in and you start rifling through stuff. And you are under the assumption that's everything. That's the truth. But little did you know, there's been 100 books banned out of there. And just
it's
burned.
in the back.
No, it's not even there. They've got rid of it. It doesn't exist anymore because someone censored and they didn't. They're getting rid of everything.
Yeah.
Full control of information. And when you have groups of people running around trying to control what you can and cannot consume to educate yourself, that's a massive problem. That's dictatorial. That's evil. It's evil because that means they believe that they know better than you and that you should only have certain information. That's it. And if that's not manipulation, if that's not brainwashing.
It was like, yeah, you don't know what the hell that shit is. What do we call it if it's not this, that, or the other? And I just don't know, man.
Well, it's very it's
Yeah.
evil. That's what it is.
Yes, it's evil, and really they give you such a narrow. They give you such a narrow way to do it, way to attack the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's all about propaganda, and sometimes
Yes.
propaganda works with censorship is propaganda, limiting your ability to see all the information. So if they take some of the numbers out, your equation is only going to add up to a certain amount. You'll never get to the truth. Like right here, I had something pop up over here on. It's End Wokeness posted this 3 hours ago, I guess. It's just popping up on my side here. And it says, Don, it's 34 seconds, but I'm just going to read this little excerpt from it. So if any of you want to go check it out, maybe we'll talk about this more tonight. But the quote is, white men, something deep in you is broken. You guys believe that violence is the answer. And I am going to say, no, I don't believe it's the answer. I believe sometimes, Don, that it's the only way once we've exhausted every other avenue. So, Don, we would have never become a great country if we didn't declare independence, first and foremost. And that Declaration of Independence was sent across the pond. And we said, this is what we're independent. Sorry, pound sand, enough is enough. But what did the Brits do? They didn't want to talk about it. They sent soldiers over. I mean, they might have had a few little conversations. There's negotiations and whatnot. Negotiations broke down because we were at an impasse with the Brits. We said, no, we want our independence. Period. Game over. You're
Give
not
me
pulling
liberty
this.
or give me death.
Yeah, we're not pulling this bullshit's not happening anymore. What happened? The Brits imposed. They said, no, you're going to do it our way. And we said, over our
Fuck
dead
you.
bodies. It isn't happening. So when people, and right now, Don Lemon and other people like him who are bringing out violence is you guys are horrible. Violence should never be a part of the equation. Violence, all the anti-violence. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but when someone's coming after you,
You have to push back.
yeah.
And
Well, when they're trying to impose their will, sometimes you got to smack them in the nose. Sorry. End of story. Sometimes you just got to punch them. Yeah. And is it the way that you want it to happen? No, because I would rather choose the easier route every single time, which is violence. Sometimes lives have to be lost to gain or maintain your liberties. And our founders knew it. That's why the Second Amendment is there, specifically for this stuff. And there has been an uptick of this anti-violence rhetoric lately because they know. That side knows that the other side is about to snap. They know it. And I've warned against it. Anybody that's listened to me for at least 2 years, they know I've said this shit's going to happen if we're not careful, and we need to try to do whatever we can to avoid it. But if it comes down to it, one side's going to have a mass loss of life, and the other side is going to be smiling at the end of it because they've just maintained their liberties. And it's going to be a very somber day because it's not going to be the Civil War that we had where we lost 600. It's going to be the type of war that's modern that there's going to be millions upon millions of people that die in this country over this. And I try to push back. I still will try to push back because I know what'll happen. You'll have your outlier people that will literally run around looking for people with green, purple, and pink hair and not even talk to them. And they will kill them. Kind of look like liberals. So I would prefer not to have that type of action happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's stoppable at this point. You know, because I will side with the Constitution, and I will side with the Second Amendment. If we have a foreign or a domestic tyrant of my life, and I think, and that's domestic tyrants. And I can get much deeper on this whole thought process, but then you have the foreign tyrants that are coming in, who are imposing their will, like you mentioned earlier, Dearborn, Michigan. You have this type of tyranny that's foreign, a foreign body, and then you might have actual other foreign bodies that are other governments at this point, not just people. There's going to be a time, sadly, where we may have to rise up. Now, I've recently, as of last night, early this morning, I've said the people of Great Britain should rise up, and violence is their answer right now. It's their only answer. If you look at what's going on in Great Britain right now, violence is the only answer they have. Game over. Because in one of my posts, I said, when the police, when the authorities of your I said that. I said when the authorities of your country do not allow you to fly the flag of your country, tyrants are now running your country at that point. So it's time to bow up and do what you need to do to save your country. Now, because the Brits have all these gun laws, knife laws, all this crazy stuff, I don't know if they have the armament to go against. So, they will show exactly why we have the Second Amendment over here.
Yeah. And to talk about like revolution and revolt, the revolt that happened in Nepal a few months back. Over Nepal.
The Nepalese, I can't remember when they did it exactly, but yeah, go ahead.
They overthrew it in like 2 days, and took it back from the communist bullshit that were running the Nepalese government, and they've instituted their own governance through Discord, which I kind of find funny.
Right. Well, I reposted. There's a British lady. So it shouldn't be too far down my timeline because I haven't pulled. They've been tolerant, and that when they have decided to stop being tolerant, that the shit's gonna hit the fan. And I tell you, the marches that we saw over there in Britain, not even a week ago, and what we're seeing over there. I'm gonna give a warning to the Muslims out there. You better leave Britain on your own accord now, because what I'm seeing, and I'm not a fortune teller or anything, but I can kind of see the clouds rolling in. Like I can do the weather forecast to a point with my eyes. Like, oh look, there's clouds. Oh look, they're coming this way. All right. I'm telling you, Muslims in Britain, get the fuck out of Britain, because they're going to kill all of you. Every single last fucking one of you, they will kill. They're on the edge right now. Like, they're on the fucking brink. When you have British women saying this type of shit to Muslim men's face without any other British man that's worth a damn standing next to her, I'm telling you, this shit's about ready to crack off.
Yeah.
So like it could be cracking off.
Shit's about to go down.
Yeah, like it
could. Yeah. Because they're now saying that also now in the Philippines, there's shit going down too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the Philippines is going the same way Nepal did.
Mm-hmm. Well, it better look. I'm rooting for the people to take back their governments and have true representation instead of these politicians. Because we know what politics is. It's bullshit. So you have to have true representation. And we're the only ones here in the United States that have the Constitution outlined the way we do. So we're the only ones that truly know what liberty is. However, I think people from around the world are starting to understand what freedom of speech really is and what tyrants really are. So, this is a good thing. But again, you've heard me lose my shit before, and I'll lose my shit. I'll lose my shit again at some point because I'm passionate about this stuff. If you don't fucking listen to me, you don't get it. This is a moment where it's like, hey, I'm a violent guy as far as like I'm okay with using the Second Amendment. I'm 100% okay with the Second Amendment all the time. I would prefer not to, it's like, hey, I got it in my holster. It's on me. I wish everybody was packing
before it comes to blows.
Yeah, I'd always rather choose to have it on me and not ever use it. But if it has to be used, and it's used for the right reasons, that it's justified under the United States Constitution, look, it's one of those things where it's like, I warned you. I fucking warned you. You didn't listen. You didn't heed my warning. And I'm warning the Brits that maybe they need to try to exhaust some more effort. However, no, they don't. I already told them violence is the only answer for the Brits right now against what they're dealing with. It's the only answer they have, period. And I guess I'm warning the Muslims, get the fuck out of Britain now before you're all dead. And we're getting very close to that here in this country, but not for the same reasons the Brits are getting close to it. I still think we have an opportunity here in the United States to do it civilly without a war. You know what I mean? I think we still have that opportunity, but boy, oh boy, we're getting close to that that place of no return. Oh boy, we're getting too close. I don't like it. So Canada, I believe, is right there with Great Britain, and I believe Australia is too. I think they have to use violence. Pretty positive. And Great Britain and Australia, I think they're pretty much right there with Canada. So we're going to see, and you were saying about the Philippines, you're going to see the first true world war. The world will be at war with itself, where it'll be the people who want to be able to have their liberties versus the people who want to take their liberties. So,
yes, freedom versus tyranny.
Yep. Yeah.
That's basically what's going to happen. It's going to be basic slaughter in the streets at this point.
Mm-hmm.
For those that are for tyranny and those who are against it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know which side's going to win here in the United States, without a shadow.
Yeah,
of a
dark
doubt.
days are coming.
Sometimes you have to weather the dark days to get to the sunnier side.
Mm-hmm.
But again,
yes, sir.
Go ahead, Patty. What were you saying?
No, I was just agreeing.
Oh,
yeah.
Look, I don't think anybody ever wants to have to experience what we're talking about. I think everybody would rather have the conversation around a round table discussion. That's better. And I'd rather have a fist fight than a gunfight. However, which, by the way, we probably would win the fist fight. No, I know we would win the fist fight too. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I know who's going to end up winning, and I just would rather do it without any loss of life. But I do advocate for loss of life, the violence part, if there is no other way to preserve, protect, and separate from mine. That's the other thing. People really need to go back and study the Constitution. The Constitution isn't one document that umbrellas all of us. The Constitution is a document printed out singularly for each and every one of us individually. We each hold that. Not another person gets to change that document for us. That's my document. That's your document. And that document protects me from you. And it also protects you from me. Yes, amen. And until people actually understand that on that level, we're going to struggle. And honestly, I don't believe either side of the fence truly has a full grasp of what the United States Constitution really means. And I say that because I've heard too many people from both sides of the fence justify reasons for changing the Constitution. And that's crazy. That's crazy talk. To me, that's crazy talk.
Yeah.
No. anyways, on that note, holy smokes, you guys got me talking even longer than
4
I was
hours.
planning. Yeah, what the heck is going on here? You guys got me chatterboxing
Hey,
way too much.
got you fired up. You once you get fired up, you keep on going.
Right, but I got to
Yeah.
come back for tonight though too. So when I do long day casts, it makes me think, well, maybe I don't need to do a night cast.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
How many times do I need to
Oh, well.
cast in a day?
A lot. 24/7.
Patty, that's funny
I
that you
think
say that.
He,
because
he's had those
I was
thoughts.
I've had those
I was-
thoughts at this point where it's
Yeah.
like I think I need to be casting 24 hours a day at this point
Yeah.
because of, look what we just got done talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mhm.
insane what we're dealing with, and there's not a lot of us right now that are necessarily.
Yeah, just have your voice broadcasting 24/7 and freely live section.
Oh my goodness! What you try and make me into Alex Jones with InfoWars? 24 hours a day, InfoWars. We're warring with info and info with war. Yes, yes.
You want to see,
InfoWars.
guys? I'm kind of retarded.
Oh boy, yeah. Oh my goodness. No, the Constitution needs to be put out there,
Yeah,
and that's I don't see anybody doing it. I really don't.
little set.
Well, I've thought about breaking the Constitution down because, as you know, I do break it down just off the cuff from time to time, but not in its entirety. And I haven't really just
Yeah.
focused in and done casts specifically on it, like the First Amendment or the Second Amendment. And I've thought about it. I've talked about it multiple times over, and I've just never done it for one reason or another. And
We, the people, in order to perform a more perfect union.
right, well, yeah.
And
It-
then
it-
just go all that shit. And it's like, what the hell? People are going to be like, what? I don't want to listen to all of this. That'll turn a lot of people off, I guess.
Yes and no. Well, there's a way to do it, I think. It's just you have to get people to want to understand what protects them. So
Yeah.
it has to come from safety. Is how do you think they get people to be so easily manipulated? Safety. So if you can
Mhm.
actually say, "Hey, I gotta talk to you about the Constitution for your safety," then you might actually get more people listening.
Yeah.
But you have to have them
But-
buy into the safety part of it too, because there are people that think that the United States Constitution is dangerous, which I don't know how the hell it's dangerous when it's guaranteeing your rights, God-given rights, whether you believe in God or not. These are your rights. End of story. So,
Well,
you know.
the Constitution actually is dangerous. And here's an argument for that. It is dangerous because it gives well-to-do people the freedom to do dangerous freedom.
Well, yeah, independence is dangerous.
And which is the best type of freedom, and the only type of freedom that truly matters.
Mm-hmm.
Dangerous freedom or peaceful security.
I've even argued, and I don't know if you've heard me argue this, but I've argued it, and not that fraud shouldn't be illegal. Because I don't believe fraud is unconstitutional.
Yeah, fraud.
Because-
If you're dumb enough to fall for it, hey, that's on you, buddy.
Right? Well, I mean, look, gambling, playing poker, sitting at a
Yep.
poker table, there's a lot of
That's
people
technically fraud.
there's a lot of people at that table on any given hand that are fraudulent. Why? Because they're bluffing. So, that bluffing is fraudulent on its own, because that's what fraud really is. You're not telling the truth. So are we going to make lying illegal? Can't really do it constitutionally
Yeah.
outside of people who are representing
Perjury.
the country. So if you are an elected official and you're caught lying,
Oh yeah.
as a representative of the people, you have to be removed from office, and then you need to be tried for treason. Because lying as a representative of you and I, if somebody's lying in our name,
Yeah, that's bullshit.
yeah, which again, constitutionality, there are some arguments there. The biggest thing is the lying and bargaining, using our liberties as bargaining chips. So the Constitution is not a bargaining chip. Any part of it is not it's not up for debate. You can't bargain with it. So the fact that our politicians do that constantly, have to debate it. We don't even have to go to court for it. If you catch them red-handed bargaining with our liberties, they're done. They're done. But, you know, we've got that. We've had that happen for so long. But it's
Nobody cares anymore.
well,
Nobody that truly matters.
It's okay
to them.
Right. Well, to some people, it's okay to bargain away things as long as they get what? Safety. And what
safety,
are they?
Yeah.
That's it. It's all about safety to a lot of people. People will give up their independence if they're told. And that's, to your point, you know, the Constitution is dangerous because X, Y, and Z. Well, yeah, because now you are truly an independent individual.
And you're
liberties.
free.
And
love
that means
free.
other people are independent individuals, and now you have to interact because with all of these people as an independent individual with personal responsibility. So you have to be responsible for your mistake, and that right there is the
Scares
crux.
people.
Oh, it scares the shit out of people. It's like, wait, have to be responsible for my actions now, and the government's not going to save my butt? It's like, no. No, it's not going to, because you are a self-governing body of this. We are a self-governing body of people. So you have self-governance over yourself, which means you fuck up your state of your being, the government of your state of being, which is your mind, your responsibility. That's the feet that it lays at. You, nobody else. And you can't kick it to somebody else. I can't be like, well, I fucked up, but Patty's got to take care of it for me. He's my government, so Patty's gonna, he's got me. Yeah, Or Kenneth has me, or 1A Habit has me. Right. You because at some point everybody just shucks the responsibility, right, Patty? Like, because it's hot potato. It's like, I don't want to be responsible for this. I don't want to be responsible. Yeah. Like, everybody just keeps, it's like, you know. But we have to. The buck has to stop somewhere. You know, so, like, for me, I've said Gen X has to bite the bullet. And we have to say, no more Social Security. My generation just has to say, you know what? We paid in more than anybody else. We're you know, we probably got another 15 years of paying into it, and then we're going to reap the benefits, or are we? There's no guarantee to Social Security, and Social Security should have never happened. It's communist. It's communist. It's bullshit. And so my generation needs to just own it and say, you know what? We screwed up. The boomers, they're grandfathered in, and they can every single last boomer can live out their life collecting Social Security. But
I don't need it. I don't want it.
Yeah, my generation needs to say, shit. Okay, we're not collecting Social Security. And every generation younger than us, below us, is just going to have to deal with the decision that we make and suck it up. Because they're not going to have to, like, your generation's not going to have to suck it up as much as mine, right? So, and our generation, Gen X right now, is the one that will shoulder the whole damn issue. But that's just an example of personal responsibility.
We're supposed to. But
yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
There's weasels and snakes everywhere. So
Mm-hmm.
Well, fun.
It's a part of the nature of the beast, right? Human
Mhm.
nature is a certain tone. It's a certain vibe.
Yes.
Where depending on your surroundings, depending on who you're interacting with, it could go good or it could go really, really bad. And, when you're personally responsible, you're more on your toes. You're thinking about. I think that's what's made our country weaker over the years is we've had a safety net that the founders of this country never had. It didn't exist. There was when the West was being won, when the West was being settled, none of the people that came out west had a safety net. It didn't exist. You either made it or you didn't. And no one was there to pick up the pieces. They literally just buried you on the side of the trail. Just like that. Game over. That was it. By the way, I'm not against helping people out and giving a hand up, but handouts? No, we're not doing handouts. You got to help yourself. Help me help you.
We got to have hand ups, not handouts.
Yep.
That's a clear distinction that we need in this country more.
Well,
we're here to help you, but we're not here to just give you shit just because it's the way that you thought it was going to be. No, we're going to help you out.
Stronger when you go through. It's funny. I always try to find arguments or points that I can make that are fairly simple. And one of them is like this hand out or hand up. It's funny to me, like lefties are very environmentalist friendly, right? A lot of lefties are into, but that's their religion, right? So the majority of people in government that run Fish and Game are not conservative. They're all liberals. Just like if you go to a zoo, the majority of zoo workers are all liberals. They're not conservatives. It's just weird, the dynamic of that. But that's just how it kind of works. One of the things that the animals, don't feed the animals, right? That's a thing. Don't feed the animals. And they've got postings through the wildlife parks, and they've got postings in your city ordinances, and you've got and they'll make up excuses. Well, we don't want raccoons around in the city, and we don't want deer around in the city, and we don't want to attract the bears, we don't want to do this, we don't want to do that. Plus if the animals get feeding them and then you stop feeding them, they're not going to be able to survive out in the wilderness by themselves. They'll die.
Mm-hmm.
They won't know how to fend for themselves. Now, they have all of this rhetoric down. They know it verbatim, but they have a lot of textbook, a lot of text on this that you could read. And they line this out beautifully for why you shouldn't feed the wildlife. But yet, they're the same ones that will feed the humans. How does a human learn to fend for itself if you just keep feeding a human for free? With all these social programs are the antithesis to what they preach about with the wildlife and in the zoo and all that. When you're like, hey, don't feed the wild animals. We want them to survive. They need to be able to maintain their ability to survive on their own. Don't ever feed them. Yeah, well, but you're willing to feed human beings. Well, human beings are different. Oh, but are they? Aren't you lefties the ones that say humans are just animals too? That's pretty sure. I'm positive you say that. See, so you get them caught in this corner. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. They have to accept it.
Well, they won't. But it's like I use the zoos against them too.
They won't.
I use the zoos with the procreation. The zoological people have to mate endangered species. How do they do that? How do they know what a male is and what a female is? But then again, they play this game with those same people that are like adamant about how things need to be done with animals. They won't apply that same thought process with human beings. Because I'll tell you, There have been zoos that
Nope.
are like, they try to put two rhinos together to mate them, and one rhino, the rhino's just not into the other rhino for one reason or another. Well, does that mean that rhino's gay or lesbian or they don't say that. No, what they do is they just send the rhino back to the other zoo, and then they call up a different zoo and say, hey, is your rhino normal? We need to mate this rhino. Like that's it. Like, and then that's the end of it, and everybody just goes on, but that nobody wants to talk about it on that level at all.
Yeah.
And that's the hypocrisy you deal with the left. That's why I'm always like, if you're truly a lefty, if you're truly a Democrat, and you weren't brainwashed into it, you weren't manipulated into it, you were just, this is what you think, and you've been thinking this way for a while, the odds are you have a low IQ. Because you're not able to think logically, like I just lined out the whole breeding thing in a zoo, or lined out the whole don't feed the fucking wildlife, but oh wait, we're gonna and all of these things that are meant to help us get better, but yet we instead of instilling independence in ourselves, like we declared, our founders here declared independence, instead of instilling that for future generations, we take away and say, no, you're dependent. You're dependent because now we're going to feed you breakfast at school. We're going to feed you lunch at school. We're going to feed you dinner after school because your parents aren't capable. Well, I'm sorry. Maybe let the kid figure it's only the school's responsibility to teach Timmy maybe how to fend for himself.
And I see that.
Mom and dad are dipshits. Like, and I understand people wanting to help and this, that, and the other, but again, it shouldn't be the school's responsibility.
Yeah.
And they took that opportunity of, we see a point where we can help the small handful of kids that aren't getting fed by their parents, aren't getting a lunch, they aren't being given money for lunch or whatever. No, we're going to take this opportunity and just say we're going to feed them all now. And then then they've extended from that even more. So you took something where there's a small percentage of students that needed help. Now you're just feeding them all and taking responsibility away from parents. And then domino effect into all of this other stuff where now the school isn't just teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic, your foundation of communication. They're exactly what you just said. They're training. They are brainwashing. And what bring animals back into this? Do animals ever bite the hand that feeds them? Nope.
Yes.
No. You.
Oh yeah, I've seen many of animals attack their trainers.
Maybe from time to time. The point is, you know what I'm talking about. You feed your cat. You feed your dog. What happens? That dog loves the person that's putting food in the dish more than anybody else. Very susceptible to the same thing.
Complacent.
So the school starts feeding them. Mom and dad aren't feeding them, but they're getting their food from the school. Who do they listen to more? The school.
The school.
Every single damn time. It's part of the whole manipulation thing, the brainwashing. So the more and more responsibility we've shucked off to the government, and the more that we've just said, fine, with the states as a people. So it takes people like you and Patty and me and other people out there listening to say, nah, you know what? Enough is enough. We got to declare independence all over again. We got to do it again. And hopefully we declare it right now and stop any kind of bloodshed that may occur if we wait any longer. You have to have a great awakening to have that. And like I'll just bring it back to Portland real quick. I showed you Tina Kotek and the gathering like we saw in Britain with the video there, which I don't even know if that was real or not. I'm going to pretend that it was real, though. But Britain had hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people there in London filling the streets, just jam-packed, chanting against this bullshit that they're dealing with right now with the censorship. Portland doesn't have that for lefties. I'd be willing to bet if Portland had a conservative march right now, it would be 100-fold more than the liberal march was that we saw on video.
Yeah.
So there is a great awakening of independence again, and it needs to be shown. Honestly, if we could show that happening, that might actually stave off the thing that I'm worrying about. Because I don't want anybody to have to die, other than the treasonous fuckers that we try for treason. Those assholes, but that's jury trial and doing it the proper way.
Jury their peers, all the stuff, presumption of innocence that they would never give to us. And we got to just do that and be better than they'd ever thought of being.
It's the only way to preserve the Constitution. Amen. Because the moment we go unconstitutional with how we perform these acts is the moment we lose it all. It's the other thing I've been preaching for I don't know how many years. So you got to do it the right way. What I say, responsibly and respectfully. If you're responsible and respectful, then everything will shake out the way it's supposed to. Well, you hope, but but no more turning the other cheek. We can't be turning the other cheek. We can't be playing these games, and we have to hit it head on, and we have to acknowledge the truth, what reality is. We can't just say, hey, you're part of the Alphabet Soup Club. You're normal. No, you're part of 1% of the planet. That's an outlier. There's 1% of every species on this planet that doesn't breed. So you're normal in the sense of it's normal for every species to have some of its species born a little off. That doesn't make you it doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't mean we love you any less. What it does mean, though, is we have to acknowledge that you're not like the rest of us in this one little quirk, and it's sexuality. And it again, not a bad thing. Doesn't matter, sucks for you. Really sucks for you because you don't get to feel the same things that the rest of us do. But we're not going to play the delusional game, and we're not going to let you and the 1% control and dictate to the rest of us. Not happening. Not happening. Because look what's happened. We've actually seen this play out a little bit. So now we have a little over 3% of the population here in the United States, and maybe even worldwide, identifies as Alphabet Soup Club now. Low-hanging fruit of I get to be a hero now because everybody's going to be like, oh, you're so awesome. You came out of the closet. Oh, my gosh, you are such a testament to humanity. You are a hero.
Suck off your whatever you got now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I need to make a T-shirt for Patty that says, yeah. That one right there. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
That's great. The poignant agreeing of that what he said without saying what he said.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't fall asleep, Patty. That was I wasn't sure if you were sleeping or not over there.
No.
Okay.
It's
He was listening to the tantalizing conversation.
Yes.
The tantalizing or the titillation?
Both.
But it was tantalizing titillation. Ooh.
The
TT.
Got the titties?
Oh boy. Are they natural?
Yeah. They are.
That's the first. Are they natural tits? And if they are natural tits, then I don't have to ask any more questions. But if they're not natural tits, then I'm like, well, is the rest of it natural? Like, how far did we go here?
Girls are not. LOL.
Right. Oh, Patty. Well, guys, I'm gonna kick you guys out of here because I've extended.
It's time to go. Damn.
Yeah, it's well past. Thanks for joining in, though. Appreciate the conversation.
Yes, sir. Well, We'll try to join in as many as we can.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I won't
Yeah.
kick you out of my neighborhood because it's a neighborhood. You can show up whether I want.
Neighborhood, I guess.
Yeah, if I put up here
You're
at some
always
point,
welcome.
chapter whatever it is at any given point, episode whatever, and then I'm like community, then I might kick you out. If I start using the word, then you know it's not a neighborhood. Then I'm like, well,
Speak Freely's been bought. His $10 million price has been paid.
oh, actually, real quick, it's past that now. You didn't hear. So I laid a gauntlet out.
You upped it
last week. Yeah, I upped it to
shit,
Saturday.
You upped it.
Yeah, so it was doubling every 24 hours. So they had 92 hours to meet my demands, or I'd never shut my mouth. They didn't meet my demands. So it just went up. The final count was Saturday, $1.6 billion to keep my mouth shut. They could have paid me off real early on. The first 24 hours, they would have saved a lot of money, and then it just kept doubling all the way through Saturday, and here we are on Monday, and yeah, I'm just not shutting up. You didn't pay the $1.6 billion, damn it. So, oh well. So you'll never see the community.
Yeah, we'd be like, oh, now Speak has been bought. I don't know how he's been bought. He either got bought by them threatening his children and his wife and his mom and his dad and all that people.
Yeah, they're already all dead, so it doesn't matter. So,
oh wow,
you can threaten them all you want. They're ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
And guess what? If they take away that's kind of one of this dumbass things that people talk about is, oh, we're gonna take away your wife, your ability to do stuff. We'll go after all of your family. Okay, go after them. Let's do this. Let's light this candle.
Mm-hmm.
Once you go after them and they're all gone, I have nothing else to lose but my own life. Are you sure you want that?
Oh, they'd go that far. You've seen it recently.
I know, but are you sure they truly want people to have anything else to lose but their own lives?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they really want that. And then you'd be put on red flag law bullshits.
Right, well, that's unconstitutional, by the way. But anyways, so.
Yep.
It's all unconstitutional. Hey, hold on.
Highly unconstitutional.
It won't let me.
Buddhist. It won't let you boot me.
No. I was clicking on your link. It won't let me. I just realized you put the link over here. You said you were, and then I didn't see it.
In Twitch.
Yeah, and
it was about the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, it won't let me click on it and go there, but that's
okay. If you refreshed it, I can always.
No, it's all good. We'll worry about that maybe tonight. If again, I've been going for over 4 hours now, so I don't even know if I'm going to do a night cast now. So we'll see. We'll see how I feel.
Oh, well.
I got to go catch Monday Night Football though. It's already playing right now. The game's on. I'm missing half the damn game. So yeah. And that's the thing. Patty's probably been watching the damn game while he's listening to me.
No.
No. Okay.
All right. I was watching a bit of Monday Night Raw, and then I kind of got tired of it. And came in here, like, you know what? Let me listen to some Speak.
And then Speak was like, "Hey, we got Patty in here," and then now Patty gets to talk and have his voice heard.
Yeah.
I'm
telling you, I'm gonna change my name.
That needs to be a T-shirt. That I really do think. Needs to be a T-shirt.
Right. What were you saying, Patty? Kenneth walked all over you here.
I was saying I'm gonna change my name from Patty to Speak Freely.
Speak Freely Quinn, or just the whole?
Yeah.
A movement. Everybody just take the phone.
Right. Well, that I've given out on X a few times, as far as just it's just a image, right? But I did have one young lady ask if they could use it as their profile pic. So if anybody is wanting to use the Speak Up, Speak Out, Speak Freely challenge coin as their profile pic, I'm willing to send it to you via message, and you can use it for your profile pic if you want. So
nice.
yeah, but I like the Darth Vader profile pic here.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that. You got the sad eye there though.
My friend X, the artist, who's also a friend of mine too. If they could draw me with the Vader helmet, but of course part of it ripped, so they could see my face. I mean, my face. So when it was done, my friend messaged me and was like, "Oh, someone very special to you, made me commissioned me to draw this." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." I was like, "Tell that person." I said, "Thank you." And then, like a few days later, my friend was streaming, and he was like, "Oh, Patty, I did a good job with your profile pic, right?" I'm like, "Oh, so it was you?" He was like, "Oh, yeah, it was me. Sorry."
That's great. I've always liked it. First of all, I'm a Star Wars guy. I like Star Wars.
Yeah, me too.
But to have that done for you is just pretty damn cool. It's really cool. Not very many people have that for sure. Maybe your artist friend that did that could help.
I'm just doing it as a Halloween, October spooky month joke.
Well, I like it.
Like
though.
it.
It is. Yep, I like it too. I like how you make the E and the P a V. Is that electric porpoise for Vendetta?
V. Oh, I wasn't trying to make it a V. It was just.
But now you see it, don't you? Now you can't out Rumble. Electric Porpoise's V for Vendetta is running around, and if you know what that means,
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot.
Oh boy. And on that note, now I'm going to kick you guys out of here and we're going to end this thing, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks again for joining. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Peace, guys.
You guys have a good one if I don't see you later.
All right, you too.
See you later, man.
Bye.
Oh, that's great. That's great to have these guys in there talking with me. Fun times. I got to see if I can get everything else closed down over here. Anyways, so what was supposed to only be a couple hours turned into 3 and then 4.5, and now where I was going to do a live tonight, another cast tonight, I don't know if I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to now. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Listening to my jacking of the jaw. So hopefully it's gotten some of you to think more deeply about what's going on around the world. But while you hear the rhetoric of violence is never the answer, sometimes it's the only answer, sadly. Sometimes the equation that's it. Sadly, it shouldn't have to be that way, but outside forces, sorts of violent catastrophes, I certainly hope so. At this point, though, especially in Britain, and just giving a good warning to the Muslims in Britain, you might want to just vacate the premises on your own, because it isn't going to get pretty for you over there. Because just being an out witnessing, if you guys want to preserve your lives, you better get the hell out of Britain, because the Brits are about ready to uncork. Just saying. So let's try to preserve life, not take life. On that note, please, for the love of God, speak up, speak out, speak freely. Much love, everybody. Much love. Peace.